It's time for us to see an ultimate matchup this early on. It's day one of the Supernova CSGO here in Malta, and it's time to see if Liquid can get a little bit of revenge here against NRG, two of the top-tier North American teams, and I'm joined by two top-tier analysts. It's Machine and Mitch. Yeah, I'm nice to you, Mitch. Yeah, I can be kind. Even with that shirt on.
He called you Machine.
You called me Machine.
Oh,
I take that as a compliment.
shit.
No. I take it very, like, it's the best thing you could say to me. Machine is, you know, one of the greatest.
What's the time? I've been going 12 hours now, so like, yep, we're just going to throw this underway.
I'm gonna cherish
So
that.
Luckily,
vibe,
we
I know
have
his
Monster.
name.
Huh?
So have I, but I still know his name.
You do less work, though. Yours is easier. That's it.
Is
Yeah,
it?
there we go.
Is it?
We'll just take that and run with it.
Okay.
Either way, NRG, Liquid, this is the matchup we wanted. This is the matchup we were excited to see. It's how we expected it to go.
Sure.
My only kind of worrying point is, regardless of the previous results, it's just that NRG's first game, although it was their first game, it was early, they were on a different time zone, fair enough, but it wasn't a clean game that they played against good old Kingwin.
Yeah, it was a little bit messy, and that could come back to haunt them as they move into this Liquid game. I mean, Matthew brought up a great point there earlier on. 5 times out of 5, last 5 times that NRG have played Liquid, they've beaten them. And we saw one of them was very, very fresh. That's a fresh wound for Liquid. It's going to be a difficult team to overcome for them. The ECS match, of course, where they were taken down 2-0. I feel like NRG have a good chance here at knocking Liquid down to the lowers. But I don't know. It is going to be heavily dependent on those maps that come out, realistically, because this is a very, very close matchup. To be honest, though, I think even with the maps coming out, this is going to be probably the hardest one to predict.
I agree. I think just if we take the larger perspective for Liquid, this event, in my opinion, it's very important, right?
Yeah.
For the longest time, in my opinion, the only team that Liquid could or would consistently lose to was Astralis, right? We would consider Liquid right under there with Navi. That was the discussion. Who is number 2 in the world? Astralis number 1, no discussion about it. But you know, Liquid would only lose to Astralis. Recently, they have dropped series to other teams. You know, they have dropped series to Fnatic. They have dropped series to NRG. So they come to this event and they have to win it. Now let's talk about the maps.
Yeah.
So the Dust 2 ban comes out straight away from NRG.
there
Train
goes
ban, the
Train.
instant ban for Liquid.
That's
Now
the
this
ban.
is where it gets interesting.
Yeah, because these teams have played each other a lot recently.
Yeah.
We've talked about it. They played at ECS finals. They've played ECS online before the finals. So there's a little bit of a mind game going here. So Liquid going for... Wait, hold on a second. No, that's Inner. Okay, I thought Liquid was picking Overpass. It took me a second. I was like, what? Yeah, so Overpass, a famously good map for NRG. I think overall as a team, they master it, tactically speaking. Also, I think Cirque is a really good opener on the map, had a lot of impact, and you want your ult to feel comfortable on Overpass. The Overpass has a lot of, like, he can impact the game so much. So this Overpass pick from NRG makes sense. I think Liquid have a lot of possibilities. They go for the Inferno, a map they play a lot. I think they have a good T side and a good City side. I don't know if that's really a punish pick for NRG. I don't really know how that team is on Inferno.
But NRG are a pretty good team on Inferno. It's in their top 3 recently as well. So I think they're going to be happy with that veto coming out. The only way this gets better is if Mirage is going to be the 3rd, because then that's the top 3 maps for NRG coming out. And it's still a possibility. It's going to be between that and Nuke, and I would be a bit worried to see Nuke come out. There it is, Mirage. That's a great veto for NRG. They're going to be very happy with that. But hey, look, again, these teams have played each other a lot. They've played on those maps. And there's a lot of data out there on how NRG approach these. So I think this could be something that Liquid have looked into. And I bet it is. If there's one team Liquid have come here prepared for, it's going to be NRG, right?
Yeah. That's the thing, right? This is when you're looking at the event, you looked at these two names and went, okay, we expect to see them get pretty damn far. We get to see them play this early on in a best of 3. The only thing I look at that veto, and I would have said that maybe Liquid go for that cash pick. That's a very confident map for them.
Yeah.
But maybe just because of having played NRG in the past on it, that's where it kind of comes into the mindset of, well, actually, let's try and avoid that one. Let's try and kind of move our way around it. And we start to see the map statistics here for Overpass. Now, Overpass is the favorite map for NRG, right? And you can see why. Liquid, Cloud9, okay, they lost to LDLC. Then we got the one against Optic. Lost to Big as well, but just look at the win rate. It just says it all.
Look at these numbers. So different and so one-dimensional. We have Liquid played it only 5 times, won 20% of it. NRG played 15 times, 73%. And that's not against bad teams by any chance. You know, they play against legit teams. It's not like they have been racking up wins in tournaments that we don't know about.
No.
They have been playing that map at the highest level. They've been winning it. And yeah, I agree with you. I think NRG has to be somewhat happy with how the veto went. I also think that, yeah, I mean, yes, that's a win for Energy. It is, because Overpass clearly not a good, I mean, not the best map for Liquid, very good map for Energy. And then the two other maps, both teams can play it. So I don't see where Liquid could say, you know, we have an advantage. That's where they need to make a statement that no matter what map, we are going to win that game. You know, this is an opportunity for Liquid to make a statement.
Now, one thing I'm noticing, right? 2 NRGs on there for Team Liquid. First one, 19-17, respectable, and the other one there was 16-7. So, like, it's this progression of Liquid having just, it's not getting easier for them, right? There's something fundamentally wrong that's going on here. Now, it's fair enough they're not going to play Overpass. It's fine. They've still got a good 5-map pool regardless. But this is a worrying sign for a team that needs to have an edge over a team like NRG. And the pressure, like we heard from Nitro in his video when we did the interview earlier on, they feeling it. They know the pressure's on them to take this tournament. I
think one of the big advantages here for NRG is the fact that we talked about it earlier. When you pick a map, you expect to win it, right? Well, in this case, we can pretty confidently say, hey, NRG should be winning the first map. The second one, though, I'm not too sure about. I wouldn't give them a free win on it, to put it that way. And at that point, you know, when you're basically struggling for 2 maps and you need both of them to win, whereas NRG only need to pick up 1, I think you got to favor them coming into the matchup. Let alone the fact that, you know, they're starting it out on such a convincing one. We said earlier on, you know, Cirque on the AWP, he's been a real superstar here. Seen a couple, I mean, Loners did some great videos on how they play these things, how they specifically play A with him, you know, using players for cover instead of cover for cover as people conventionally do. It's going to be interesting. It's always a treat to see how NRG approach their CT sides here because they are one of those more aggressive teams on Overpass and a map where it's warranted.
No, I agree.
And I think on the Overpass, right, we touched on this a little bit earlier, just Breezy's ability of lurking. He's like the modern day lurker he's ahead of a lot of others right now. The lurkers of old that we looked at and went, oh, cool, they're like changing the game. Where they've dropped off, he fills the boots, and his way is what you should be looking at. If you're playing a lurker role, look at Breezy, look how he gets it done, because this man, he doesn't just create space, but he is everywhere to be a thorn in your side.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the lurker role has evolved over time, and it's very important. If you are a viewer at home and you are a lurker in your team, you need to realize the time is over where you could just sit on one side of the map and hope that your team is going to give you an opening and then you're going to take a duel. Now, you need to apply pressure. You need to mask the fact that you're alone on your area. That's where a really good lurker is. He's going to make your enemies doubt. How many people are B? I don't know. There's been a smoke, there's been a Molotov, 2 flashes, I don't know. They could have B, we don't have information. You can't just quietly sit on one side of the map because information has been relying, I mean, the information is circling so fast that people realize it's only 1 on B, everyone is on A. So if you're a lurker, you need to mask that.
Well, let's get into the predictions, guys. Which way do we think this is going to go? And this is the hardest one we've had to predict of all day. And I'm going to start things off and just go out of a whim. I believe Liquid could do it, and more for the fact that I just want them to do it because I am feeling like it's like push comes to shove, right? So I'm down with Liquid.
No, my heart would say Liquid, but I think based on teams nowadays, performance and feeling, I think NRG is going to take it.
Mitch?
Yeah, I got to say the same. NRG get a pretty easy first map, and then from that point, I mean, these teams are always 50-50, so even if it goes to Liquid first and then NRG after, I'm going to say a 2-1 to NRG. I'll give Liquid the benefit of the doubt on Inferno, but I think Mirage, we also saw it be a close map last time, but given 2 opportunities, I think NRG will prevail eventually.
Well, let's find out how it goes. It's time to get this underway. It's our last best of 3 of day 1 here in Malta. And one more time, Dinko and Hawker, it's time for you to take control.
Thank you, James. Yet again, this is going to be the blockbuster of the day, right? This is the team that we wanted to see take each other on again. It's a grudge match coming in from ECS Season 6. Obviously, NRG were able to edge out against Liquid. And Liquid, I'm sure, will be coming here to mean business.
Oh, yeah. I had a massive smile on my face at the start of this, and there's a good reason for that, because this is almost a pre-final before the final, right? It really could be that caliber of game, which is so cool to see.
Yeah, I feel like it would almost be criminal if we didn't go to 3 maps. I feel like Liquid are going to come into this with a lot of sort of weight on their shoulders, obviously with a lot of pressure, wanting to prove that they are the best team within North America. They have to be NRG, and so I feel like Liquid will have done their prep against this team. This will be the team they've looked to the most coming into this event, and probably researched the most. You know, they're going to analyze that loss that they just had on Overpass at ECS. They're going to try and look over some of the reasons why they ended up losing to NRG, and perhaps come into this one and perform much better. And I mean, Liquid definitely are a team that have so much skill across the board.
Yeah, but switching over to NRG, I think they've got some really well-defined roles on this team now. I mean, we heard Banks on the desk talk about the modern lurker. I think that's a really applicable term to describe Breezy. That's the perfect way to describe him. Ethan is like a really aggressive star rifler, which kind of helps the rest of the team do their job. Cirque can do a bit of both depending on the map, and he's like the last of that big three. But on Overpass, definitely expect him to get aggressive in the bathrooms, aggressive in towards mid on the CT side. There's lots of options for NRG.
A player who's been playing pretty good across both events, CCS Season 6 where they beat Liquid, and then coming into this one is Fugly. He's actually been hitting the numbers, and that's another element that NRG can have. And over on Liquid, we'll see what they can get done, as they have, you know, arguably one of the most talented players within North America. Twists, you've got Nitro there who can pick up the AWP. You've got Naf, and also an amazing skill player, Taka, one of the best support players, and Lige, who was even a player in sort of question of being one of the better players within NA. So coming into the pistol, Liquid look to try and split through the water control area, taking this area very quickly. This is a huge choke point. This is the area of the map you want to have.
Definitely nice start for Liquid already, just kind of gaining a bit of ground, exactly what they would have been hoping to do. Now they need to move towards a bomb site, and the smoke has already been deployed, so we could see that come through quickly. Cirque in the barrels, taps away, makes it a second. Cirque doing the damage, he makes it a 3K. Naf and Elise trying to fight back, but Cirque doesn't quite get that kill. It's Daps to steal it away, but it's still a great start.
Yeah, Naf into a 1 versus 5. He hits the first headshot coming in, but Fugly able to end it all, and Cirque with a huge triple kill. Or a double kill into that one from the barrels, finding those 3 headshots coming through. Obviously denying the bomb plant. Liquid neglecting to check that position. I feel it's so common as well to have that barrels area, a player to sit there in the pistol with the USP. So Liquid don't really expect it, they don't check it, and Cirque is able to come out huge for his team, giving the pistol to NRG.
Yeah, NRG come out swinging as we kind of expected here on Overpass. Nice to see Cirque get some extra money to start things off, although surprisingly, Cirque buys the M4 straight away. That's not something I was expecting. I was expecting him to save some money to try and get that all out into the future. It's not going to matter too much in this round, though. This is about as easy of a round that NRG will get throughout this series. They're against almost a full eco, and this round has gone exactly as you would expect. Only a single casualty for the CTs.
Yeah, pretty good start from NRG. They come into this one finding the first 2. Liquid going to be equipping themselves with the AK-47s immediately across the board, and the SG coming into play on a Lige. We're starting to see that slip more into play, Alex. We're seeing that come through a lot more, and you know, utility across the board there for Liquid. It's not a lot, but it's enough to get an execute through, and that's what they're going to be looking to do probably.
We're seeing much more of the AUG than the SG, though.
Yeah.
I think fewer players have switched to the SG, probably because it has a bit of a weird spray pattern.
But the AK is so good.
Yeah, true. But Elige is like the one guy who really is sticking with the SG. There's a couple of others who have kind of toyed with it in the past, but Elige seems to have consistently decided he's sticking with this weapon now, and Liquid into this first gun round may have found a gap in the NRG defense. They've got a couple of players moving over towards A long. However, Breezy not going to wait around. He gets aggressive. He gets the opening pick for NRG, and they've been able to push all the way through B.
Yeah, playing this proactively from NRG, you know, Breezy finding that kill on the Taco. Taco unable to really limit the amount of information NRG can get here. They will realize that Liquid have put all their eggs in one basket towards his A site. So Cirque's got to rotate back up towards the top of the connector, as the rest of his teammates here, if needed. And then going to come down the stairs from Nitro, who is just trying to delay them inside of that connector, prevent them from getting up. The grenade lands right in front of Cirque's face. Lack of Molotovs here from Liquid is a big problem. We'd love to have mollied that off. The only problem is Naf was the only player that had a Molotov, and he's gone as Daps is able to hit him up with a headshot. And Liquid look to try and run in towards the A bomb site, but Daps is here holding possibly one of the strongest positions that he can play on the CT side, equipped with the crossfire of his teammate as he just continue in the fight. Twist able to find Daps. Ethan steps up when needed and called upon, but Nitro doing enough work to make it doable here for Liquid.
Very competitive, very back and forth round, and that smoke buys a bit more time. Twist's in position. Again, he has to be the superstar player for Liquid. maybe if he can pounce, they get a chance to win this 2-on-3. NRG taking their time. They have the defuse kits, and Nitro's still stuck on the site. Not a great position for him, but in comes Twist and Nitro. They both win fights. It's up to Twist on the 1v1, and he knows where Breezy is coming from. The smoke goes in, but Twist gets the headshot. Liquid on the board early, and these two teams should be putting up a good fight, as has already been shown.
Yeah, huge triple coming in from Twist. Big performance starting things off. That is really important for them to get that Nitro with 2 on the board, and Liquid, they win a gun round. So that's important, very important. And coming into this, NRG, they're going to get a bit of a buy through, but again, they haven't really had too much space to let that economy grow. So this buy here could actually come back to bite them, because if they lose, they're going to have nothing.
And I was saying earlier, it was nice to get that early money on Cirque after the pistol round. That's gone. He's stuck on a scout for this next gun round. He's trying to use it, but there he goes. Nitro with a solid flash, takes the opening kill of the round. And sometimes Liquid are kind of described as this mini Astralis, already starting to come through there with some nice utility usage to get them the opening pick of the round.
Spamming through, Twist is trying to find an extra bit of advantage, just work with. But Ethan, he's going to be boosted up, trying to spot out some information. Liquid are coming towards this bomb site where Breezy is waiting. He's going to be eliminated by Twist, who opens things up with a blistering headshot, daps it into the spot, looks to pick up a kill with a CZ, but Taco continues to fight with the UMP. Ethan not getting anything done today. He will be sent to an early grave, and it's all on Fugly. A 1 versus 5. The call to save will definitely be the more educated one. He'll sit up towards the playground and just hope he can get that M4A4 into the next.
So I don't think we quite got to make our predictions, Stinko. Do you want to put your neck on the line?
I'm going to go with Liquid. I feel like they're going to come into this prepared. I don't think they want to lose the NRG twice.
Yeah, I think I agree, especially because we're seeing Twist show up in these early rounds already. That's kind of what I think costed them at ECS. Actually, at that tournament, Twist was the lowest rated player for Liquid.
Yeah.
And I just don't expect that to happen again. He's such a talent that it's unlikely to be the case 2 events in a row. And so if Liquid start to have those star players show up, then that's when NRG could really struggle, especially because, again, Liquid have got a lot of talent across the entire roster. Even Nitro, their in-game leader, is definitely capable of putting up the numbers, and he's been putting up the numbers much more recently. He's really transitioned into a good fragging player, so that's certainly a positive sign for Liquid, and they seem to be back in the driver's seat on the early stages of NRG's map pick.
We kind of got a quick glimpse into Liquid. They seem to be prepared for this map. We've seen them talking a little bit before, and they definitely look like they've got something already up their sleeve for here on Overpass, which is going to be very exciting to see if we can see anything pulled on. Obviously, you've already pointed out they have come into the start of their opponent's map pick looking pretty solid. NRG down to just the USPs across the board. Obviously, the only M4A4 in play is that one saved from Fugly. So again, this should be a pretty easy one for Liquid, but look at the stack. Twist might be found with a nasty surprise of this USP here from Ethan.
Twist is very alone towards that position, so I hope he doesn't go straying unless he gets some support. Ooh, Twist is moving forwards. Okay, he gets the first kill, makes it a second, but eventually the USPs strike true. Liquid about to move in with Elige, who's going to try and clean up this mess. Cirque's still behind that rock, but Elige ready and waiting, and yet still unable to get the kill. Liquid still not moving anywhere else,
Yeah.
but Elige gets the frag.
Yeah, that's a little bit interesting, right? They have all the info that's going to be a stack towards long, yet they still leave the bomb at the top of mid. They just want to make sure Elige can clear that long position out, and once they realize it's completely empty, they can just make a call of where they want to go. In fact, the only player who even had a rifle was Fugly, and he was towards B. He's going to gently pull himself away from the B bomb site and go up towards A, but in fact, Liquid have made the call to come back towards B, so a little more patience from him. Perhaps sitting on that B bomb site probably would have worked out a little bit better for him. He would have been able to pick up a few kills. I guess the silver lining is Alex he most likely will save now.
That's got to be the goal at this point. No way of winning the round. In terms of NRG's performance in their opening game, it was mentioned on the desk that they maybe struggled a little bit more than expected against Kingwin. That game ended up going to overtime, and I think part of that was the fact that whenever we see this NRG roster, it's very rare you get all three of their big names show up on the scoreboard in terms of those frags. Oftentimes it might be Ethan showing up and then Breezy is missing, or maybe Breezy will have a good game, Ethan isn't there. Cirque sometimes is a bit up and down. If you could have all three of those players consistently hitting a good level, that's when NRG could absolutely become world beaters, but it's not necessarily always the case that we see them all show up. And in that last game, it was Ethan that kind of struggled in terms of those three players. I think he ended about -6 kills in the end there. And if he's going to be a star player, again, you want him to be going positive, obviously. So that's maybe a slight concern for NRG, and we'll have to keep track of how Ethan does throughout.
So again, NRG, they get the buy through, but it is pretty weak, Alex. You have a UMP for Mass in play. It's not exactly what they would have liked, and the utility is not all there. In fact, Liquid have the massive advantage in terms of utility as they run in with a 5-rifle setup, clearing through the water positions as fast as possible. Utility coming in, smoke setup coming into the B-bomb site. So NRG, they have got that player inside of the barrels. It caused problems for Liquid at the beginning, but Elige will deal with it as him and Taco double near the barrels, eliminating Daps immediately. And Naf looking to crack open this B-bomb site with the sheer force that he has in that M4A4. As he gets 2 kills, or Liquid get 2 kills, the B-bomb site's completely under wraps here for them. It's all about NRG either saving or going for this really difficult retake.
That nade stack basically wins Liquid that round. If you were looking at the minimap, NRG was starting to get aggressive towards A, but once Liquid got that opening frag towards B, they were much more comfortable to push, and Naf gives away his position. That's a little bit awkward. It shouldn't lead to too much, but he absolutely should have been getting that kill almost every day of the week. A little bit of an off showing there. However, it won't have an impact in terms of the overall round. NRG are already fading away from this one. And interestingly enough, Fugly's got a bit of cash stored in his back pocket. So if they could save all 3 guns, it wouldn't be a bad buy, but say goodbye to that opportunity. Cirque has already been dealt with, and Twists is going to try and go for more, but I think NRG are safe.
Yeah, Twist is clearing every angle, trying to find. That's what the CT is trying to save, but it will be granted access into the next with the rifles that they've saved over. Pause is going to come through. Interesting to see whether it's tactical or technical, because at this point, the NRG have looked pretty shaky here. Liquid definitely looking like the stronger team coming right out of the gate. And I think, look, the odds here, Alex, this is interesting. GG.bet, the odds are in favor of Liquid here on Overpass. And, you know, talking on the desk, we've seen Mitch kind of say he felt like NRG were going to be the team to have sort of an easy ride of things on Overpass. I actually don't really think that. Like I said, Liquid are going to be a team that don't want to get beat twice. They're going to try and prove their dominance and prove why they're the top 3 team in the world, you know? So this is going to be really exciting to see if Liquid have prepared heavily for this and are able to dispatch of NRG here on Overpass.
The thing is, I would maybe understand that point of view if Liquid at least played Overpass a decent amount of the time. But it's really not a map they play all that often. They've kind of taken it into their pool a little bit recently, but it's still not a map that they've ever really leaned towards too heavily. So maybe they have got the preparation, but there's only so far that can take you. You have to have the solid backbone. And speaking of backbone, Cirque, the backbone of NRG, gets the opening kill of the round. That AWP holding towards A long, happy to take that fight at very long range. Twists is the first man to fall for Liquid, and that's basically the perfect start for NRG. You take out Twists and you get the man advantage.
Yeah, Taco dropping as well early. Perez able to find that one. It's into a 3 versus 5. Liquid not looking great in this one, but definitely can still pull it back. That smoke covers off the vision of Cirque and actually trains his aim towards the mid position. Great grenade usage. That's going to force Fugly away from that angle. He's actually got to play in front of the smoke, and Elige knows it. This is perfect from Liquid. So beautiful to watch this kind of Counter-Strike as Fugly is dropped by the utility, bid him into position.
Again, though, look at the mini-map. NRG have pushed all the way through B. They have all the information. They're stacked in towards A. NRG are very well prepared for this one, and Cirque spots the first man. They should be ready.
Yeah, Liquid kind of forced to show their hand here. If they Have to come into the A bomb side. They've got utility. The Molotov still in play. They've got to make this work. Cirque has just edged his way in front of the smoke. Goes for the aggressive peek and able to land it. That smoke covers off the car. Elige will find Cirque, but Daps is still alive on the opposite end of this. He's going to find Elige. Switch out the MP9 for the better 8K, but Nitro hits the headshot. And in the chaos, it's a 2 versus 2. The bomb will be planted for Liquid, but this retake needs to come in. Nitro has the angle. He spins on Breezy, and Naf will find the headshot. Breezy could have ended it there, but Liquid able to make it work.
Oh no, Breezy, that was the difference maker. That was the frag. Just one kill can make all the difference. And credit to Nitro for swinging back around. That's not easy under pressure like that. But if Breezy gets that kill, this could be even an entirely different game, because now you can see NRG don't even have the money to buy. They've got a few CZs. They'll try and do what they can, but those are the sort of pivotal rounds that can really change the game.
Yeah, that round would have put NRG right back in contention for the beginning of this first half, but losing that and Nitro being able to spin on Breezy has just opened things up further for Liquid, and they can actually get a little bit of leg room to build that economy further like it needs to be built. They've got 10K on Nitro. The player with the least amount of money is Twist, and he's been the player, you know, doing the dirty work essentially, trying to find those big opening kills, has been shut down at the beginning of rounds a couple of times, and so hasn't really had that much opportunity to build up the economy. But Liquid have definitely looked really solid here on Overpass. The utility usage is impeccable, and again, Naf uses the Molotov to his advantage, connects the double spray transfer onto Fugly and Breezy. At least a kill comes in from Cirque, but they should know exactly where he is.
Naf hoping for help, and he has some help in terms of Nitro at the top of Connector. Good headshot found, ensuring that Naf is safe and sound. And NRG have at least got a couple of players towards B, but it seems unlikely that they are going to be able to win this one. Here we go, Taco. Ooh, comes close, 2 HP left, but Taco will be dealt with. Nice headshot from Daps. Again, these kills don't mean a massive amount because Liquid have got a fair amount of cash, but it would be nice for NRG to save a extra rifle if Daps could do that.
Yeah, I mean, saving this, Daps would actually probably have enough to drop an AWP over to Cirque. And that would mean that he would have enough money to buy some utility and Kevlar up. Whereas otherwise, he probably was going to be a fine rifle setup. So it's really important that he gets this, but Naf will just allow that. He will find the headshot, and that's actually great for Liquid that they find that kill. So 6-2, Liquid definitely picking up steam here. A tactical pause comes in for NRG, and they make it work. And then after that, it's just Liquid again, break them, and their money is gone once more. But coming into this one, NRG are going to have another buy through. It will most likely be the rifle setup, but we've seen the loss bonus built up, and that's something, you know, we really neglected to talk about, and that does allow Cirque to full buy anyway. So NRG, they're going to get a solid buy coming into this. We've seen a replay, Naf eliminating a final player there. But it doesn't really matter in the grand scale of things, because NRG, they've got everything they want.
Cirque still playing in Barter as the boost comes in, and Ethan able to get the opening on this occasion. Naf looking for some sort of trade. The nade's not really connecting, and Naf is still getting aggressive towards B. He wants to find the trade right now. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get it, though. So Liquid finally go a man down. They've generally been on the front foot at the start of these rounds. Now we'll have to see their response to being a man behind as Taco tries to find a boost, but the damage is dished out towards Naf. Again, NRG just chipping away at Liquid. Health point by health point, they're doing tiny bits of damage to make a slight difference. Taco's still trying to find a way back into this round.
Yeah, Smoke's going to cover off his vision though, and that would have been great if Taco was able to find a head there and maybe pull it back into a 4 versus 4, because that's the position you can actually fall back from, right? So he finds that kill, he falls back, you're back into a 4 versus 4, and at that point Liquid still have it in their back pocket of what they want to do. But if you look across the board here for Liquid, 44 seconds left, not much utility. Ethan just got a heap of information off the back of that jiggle peak and can now ready up for this attack as Liquid look to run towards him. The flashbang. This could be perfect. Flash comes in, but it doesn't blind anyone. In fact, it blinds his teammate. Nitro steps up with the entry frag. Breezy able to walk in with one more, but Elige is on the trade. It's into a 3 versus 3. Liquid need to get on the bomb side, but Daps being pushed away. Walks around the corner. That's the bomb dropped. That's a big kill on Taco and Elige. They need to pull this back. Elige will hit the headshot. Taco follows up. Last player is Cirque. He switches up for the M4A4. Elige will get the bomb plant just in the nick of time and has a 1 versus 1 up against Cirque. Cirque has been proficient with the AWP, but switches out for the M4A4, and only one bullet will take Elige down. And I think Cirque has the idea. Elige needs to hit the headshot coming through here. Cirque got a jiggle, peek the angle. He's going to walk around, finds him. That's the kill. And a clutch comes through as NRG will pick up 3.
Yeah, Cirque looked so calm on the player cam there.
Yeah.
He must have had the information exactly where the last man was, and that made sure that he would win the round, and he even gets to save the AWP at the end there as well. Whoa. That is trippy.
Feels like what, you know those mirrors you walk into
Oh, yeah.
fun houses of like fairs or theme parks, and you walk through and it just makes you look all weird. That's
Yeah.
what-
Sometimes the mirror makes you look really fat,
Or
and
really
then you
skinny.
realize you're just really fat.
Yeah.
It's sad. Either way, Cirque's got the AWP again, and again, he's trying to play in towards bathrooms. I almost wonder if we're going to see an aggressive peek, because he didn't have the best of spawns. And yeah, again, he's happy to sit back in these bathrooms. This is often the position Cirque will play. You can kind of reposition around there. He's got Fugly just to assist him, but with the smoke going up, it looks like Cirque's chance for an opening pick has gone down drastically, as Liquid just decide to hold back in a default setup. I think Liquid realize if they win this round, they have the opportunity to reset NRG's money almost entirely.
Yep.
If Liquid won this round, it would mean a huge amount for them on this T side. You can almost feel that in this round. It's a bit of a nervy start from both of these teams. Neither side wanting to make the mistake, neither side trying to force anything at the early stages. And generally, I would say, considering the nades that NRG have left, this might favor them, because with a minute left, they've done a good job at holding onto quite a few of those nades.
Yeah, Liquid have sort of been, you know, using the utility has been a big factor of Liquid's success so far in Overpass. And so far, NRG have done a good job at just sort of withstanding that utility. They've found a way of sort of dealing with it. And Liquid are using so much of it at the beginning of the rounds. When they come into these final 30 seconds or so, final attacks are just not perfect for them.
Exactly. Look at the time. There's still 3 smokes left for NRG. If those are placed in the right position, that could make all the difference towards the B bomb site. And with 27 seconds left, Liquid have no choice. They almost have to hit B here.
Yeah, they have to commit here, and with not that much utility, they've got smoke left, a couple of flashbangs, 2 Molotovs that can still be used. Flash comes in, it's Nitro, being successful inside of the monster tunnel, but he's not expecting Breezy. Ethan and Breeze, they're going to find themselves 3. Tackle will pick up 1, but the bomb is dropped. And Elige is the last man alive, and 5 seconds on that clock. He has to stay alive. He's going to save all the way back in whence he came, and that's the spawn. So, not great from Liquid. They've sort of fallen apart, and NRG have sort of figured out the game plan.
That almost looked like Liquid got a little bit in their own heads in that round, right? They've been finding some success with some of those earlier plays. This time, sure that the nades were there to counter them from NRG, but at the same time, it was kind of a bit awkward that the fact that they end up pushing at the end of the round seemed like maybe they didn't have an overall idea called quickly enough. Elige wasn't really in position to help out, and as has been pointed out at the desk time and time again, if you're going to be a lurker in the current game, you can't be that far away from your team, right? You have to be helping somewhat. You have to be at least sort of holding the flank or doing something to help, getting some information, maybe drawing some players away, whereas Elige was just back in spawn, as you were saying, so he couldn't really have any impact on the round, and that means NRG are right back in this game. Nitro picking up the AWP here for the Liquid side of things. You can see on the map, he's currently just holding it passively, and look at the map actually, both teams playing really passive right now.
Yeah, it's like they're scared to meet. It's quite funny actually, but Liquid are going to make the decision to go up towards long. They've got a couple of players there. Generally the CT side, if they don't have an AWP plane in that area of the map, it's usually just left open, right? You can afford to do that along because you can get information elsewhere that allows you to get back to the A site in time. Although, they don't have one player even jump spawning towards long, so they're just going to rely off the information they have inside of the toilets. That smoke towards long, that's going to call a rotation from Daps, who's coming back up towards the site.
That was a really cool way of seeing that rotation up. It seems like Daps has committed. Oh, hello. What is going on here?
Oh,
Overpass is known for the boosts. Is Nitro going to get an opening? Daps was rotating up, but I think he's managed to get away from that. So I don't assume this is going to get an opening kill for them. And with 29 seconds, again, Liquid have to speed this up.
Yeah, this boost would have worked a couple of seconds prior, but there goes the flash. Player looking right at him as Nitro flicking back and hitting that shot. Another kid commit into the bomb site. Nitro looks to try and follow up of the initial pick that he's found, but Twist finding the headshot. Fugly will fall, and the pressure keeps going, but 10 seconds. Liquid leaving it so lit again. Breezy coming through. Cirque able to pick up 2 with the AWP, and Nitro, the only player grabbing anything, has to clutch a 1 versus 2 here. With Breezy moving up beside him, it's just impossible, as Ethan is the player to collect that final kill, and NRG will get 5. Liquid leaving no time.
Yeah, that's the important point there, right? Even if you get the entries, as Liquid did in that round, with such little time left on the clock, it just gets really frantic, pushing towards the site. You all feel like you have to defend the bomb planter, so you're not ready to get into good positions for the post plant. Everyone from Liquid committed to the site, making sure the bomb gets down, but then once the bomb gets planted, you're just kind of sitting ducks. There's not really enough cover on the site. You want to be back into these bathrooms to watch towards the bomb, and there wasn't really anyone there for Liquid, so unfortunately they lose another round. But thanks to their prior round wins, they've still got money for a bye.
Yeah, definitely needs to try and change the pace a little bit. Yeah, they're setting things up well. I mean, they're getting the bomb down, right? They're getting in these positions. It's just if they get it there a little earlier, then it's much more doable. But if they leave themselves with 10 seconds, you know, like you said, you're just sitting ducks. You can't get away from that. NRG, no, they're going to commit into that bomb site. Cirque looking to pick up the open and is able to do so successfully onto Elige. And that gives the advantage over to NRG. Taco could be the equalizer, but the flashpoint comes in. Ethan perfectly times it. And Taco loses his head. And Liquid at this point, they're sitting ducks again, Alex. This is going to be so difficult to pull back.
Definitely won't be easy for them. I'm almost wondering if in that recent round, because it was Nitro that was up on the boost watching with the AWP, he might not even be able to see the time. So as the in-game leader, it could be a little bit awkward. You know, you're holding the angle, you're fully focused on trying to land the shot, and sure, Nitro ends up landing the shot from the boost, but it doesn't necessarily lead to the round win. As Liquid just decide to stick together, at this point, the almost pack of wolves are just trying to trade with each other, trying to do whatever they can, but they're going to have to deal with Cirque.
There's no flashbang, right? They're just going to rely on these smoke grenades and the Molotovs to try and force them away. And Cirque has been no stranger at just getting in front of that utility, picking a kill, and then falling back. And there we go. Perfect. Jump spots, finds the info, misses the flick shot. But he is dropped by Nav. Doesn't exactly matter too much because Liquid into a 2 versus 4. And look at this position from I believe, Fugly actually up towards long. Nav has hopped up on top of the truck. The smoke covers off the stairs. Although the NRG are in a really nice position to try and retake this. It comes down to the engagements, whether or not Twist can win this fight against Daft. Naf losing out. Ethan able to pick up the frag, but Twist now in a 1 versus 3. He's a great player, but this might just be a stretch too far, and Ethan will confirm it's 6-6, and Liquid have just lost all hope on this map. They have definitely looked a little bit shaky coming into the later rounds of this first half.
Yeah, it's just kind of fallen apart for them. They seem to have kind of hit a brick wall almost. That's a kind of phrase from marathon running, right? You hit the wall, you just can't get anything done.
Yeah, the brick wall in this case being NRG's defense, right? Every time they walk in, the retake is successful from NRG. They're making the right decisions, not getting flustered. Whereas Liquid are leaving it so late. In the 10 seconds, it just becomes chaos, right? You try and get that bomb down, NRG are all over you, and they're making the right decisions. You know, Fugly sat up towards long. Okay, we'll let Liquid take the bomb site. We'll let them get in on the site, and then we'll just retake as a group and try and enclose them again.
Yeah, and I've just made the point that they kind of hit the wall in terms of the fact that, you know, when you're running a marathon, sometimes you hit the wall, sometimes you get exhausted. What you can't do in a marathon is take a pause.
Yeah.
But Liquid can afford to do that here. So they can take a breather. They get time to talk about what on earth has been going wrong for them. Again, in that round, they tried to go for a bit more early aggression, right? Elige was trying to force the opening in towards bathrooms. The problem with that is that Cirque is going to be there with the AWP. So I wouldn't mind Liquid maybe looking towards B short, maybe looking for some map control elsewhere. Sure, you run the risk of maybe getting naded, but that's maybe a better option.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, right? You pointed out NRG were playing pretty passive. In the past few rounds, it's been Cirque just running towards middle and try and find that opening. Been successful quite a lot of the time as well. That's a big factor that NRG have brought to the table. And Liquid here definitely struggling to be, hopefully see a little bit of a change in pace. They've got 3 players proactively taking B. Ethan, again, using this flashbang technique for the info. Liquid have adapted this time and not really falling short of it. Molotov comes in towards the B bomb site. Ethan just sitting, waiting passively yet again. And Liquid try and take control elsewhere.
Cirque still here with the AWP off. Fango, I thought he hit that one. Not quite able to connect on the opening fight. Again, he's got Fugly here to assist him. That setup generally works really well towards the A site. Fugly's happy to sit back, happy to support, use his utility to help Cirque fall back. And Cirque thought about trying to take that shot. He wanted the highlight clip, but it's not going to happen. He falls back to the bomb site. And with 40 seconds left, Liquid pressuring A, but not necessarily committing.
So Liquid again, 30 seconds left, still yet to commit. The problem with these have been they've been pretty well telegraphed, and NRG are really good at sort of rotating and getting in position ready for this, and so Liquid have to commit. Utility comes in. With 20 seconds, you know it's an A hit. So Cirque looks, misses the shot. Elise able to win that, but treated back by Fugly. Now they know there's another player towards long. Daps is the time to strike for him while they're distracted, and Fugly comes in huge as he picks up the triple kill, looking to collect the quad as he sprays through the smoke. Naf is under a lot of pressure, and that was just impossible. Liquid get bombarded by NRG.
Such a nice mid-round call from NRG there. They realize they might not be able to hold the site, so both Cirque and Fugly go commit to A long. They call Daps to rotate up just to try and contain Liquid on the site, to try and draw the information over. It was a bit unfortunate that the Cirque loses that first fight towards A long, but afterwards Fugly got the refrag, and then Liquid were kind of caught in two minds. They had to watch both A long and bank and in towards the dumpster stairs position. That leaves them with a few too many angles to contend with, even with the smokes being up. With such little time left, NRG could always push through the smoke, try and deny the plant, and so that's a really cool way of trying to counter that A push. As, oh no, Nitro goes for a hop, skip, and jump at just the wrong time. He is a easy target in mid-air, and Liquid, again, this time they're trying to force an opening, but even when they try and force the opening, it never seems to go their way.
Liquid running towards the monster tunnel and waiting is Ethan. He's been so successful in this position, but a play you look to on Liquid, Twist able to trade back. But NRG still with control of the B-bomb site currently in Liquid. I think they know that, so they'll have to do a little bit more work to try and get something done in this one. They haven't elected to go for any sort of early plays into any bomb sites. They want to gather as much information before they make the final push. At this point, having the man deficit, low HP, and utility starting to sort of run dry. At least they have plenty of it on Twist and Naf, but once that's all they have. So if one of those players drops, it gets significantly more difficult to get into a bomb site.
Well, Twist, Naf, and Elige are generally the best fraggers for Liquid. I guess that's who you'd want alive in a 3-on-4 to try and get you a pick away to get into the round. Again, Twist taking that AWP. As you pointed out, he's looking for some sort of opening, but the time running low. Elige gets a kill. That could make a big difference. Daps is now kind of alone towards B. He's got Fugly coming in to assist him. And again, Liquid running down the clock. 20 seconds left.
Yeah, Elige has the angle. That's the SG connecting the headshot. Daps able to find one. Twists with a kill. And it's all on Cirque. Suddenly, NRG with the disadvantage. The bomb will be planted on the B bomb site. Cirque knows this. Trying to drop down. He fixed the drop inside of the water. That's with the USP. Has the AWP on top of the smoke. But there's no need for Liquid to even peek this. There's no need to try and take that fight. And so they'll fall back inside of short and the monster tunnel. And Cirque has a very difficult task ahead of him. He has to try and clutch this 1 versus 2 with the AWP, and they're in vastly different positions, right? So he's got to flick between those two. He drops, that's the sign Q mid. They'll know he's exactly on this side. He runs towards the monster tunnel, Twist will peek, and Liquid win it. The 3 fraggers are able to make the clutch work.
Finally a round win for Liquid. That was a long dry spell for them. 5 rounds lost on the trot, but Liquid bounced back with their 7th round win. And we will head into the last round of this first half. Again, Liquid looking fairly calm, all things considered. They had a good start, but I think they realized when you look at the overall round scoreline, it's still okay for them. Now, if you literally just tuned in right now, you would say this is pretty good for Liquid. They've got 7 rounds on their T side, and hopefully that's something they remember as we see a double AWP setup picked up by NRG, and here is that aggression from Ethan I was talking about. He's normally the most aggressive player on the team. Already he's pushing in towards bathrooms. Cirque, holding bathrooms. Ethan pushed towards short, and Cirque takes a couple of stray bullets towards him. Wow, sticking around, makes noise in the molly there. Cirque does get the entry, but an instant trade.
Yeah, Cirque dropping Elige. There's a big kill coming through, but Twists again has started to wake up. He was the big player in that clutch scenario in the last round. He was really the reason. They won. He got 3 kills in that one, and again, opening things up with the trade coming through. Taco is going to stand stead and pick up 1, but they double peek it, and Ethan will find the kill back. Fugly actually grabbing the advantage here for NRG with that AWP. So it's on to Naf and Twist. Again, these 2 players very capable of winning this. It's not over yet, and Liquid still stand a chance. They've got a flash and a smoke alive on Naf. They can still use that, but they're looking to play a contact play into the A-bomb site, but they line up for Daps as he takes both players and gives NRG the advantage moving into that second half.
Oh, am I drunk right now, or is that the stream? No, it's all good. a bit wavy, but it is going to be the 8-7 half in favor of NRG, slightly edging it out. And the frags fairly evenly distributed.
Yeah.
Again, though, as I pointed out, it was Twist who struggled at ECS, so it's nice to see him on top.
Yeah, the 2 stars of the team you point out is Twist being the best player on Liquid. He's up at the top there. Cirque, he's the big player on NRG, obviously, and they're going head-to-head, battling it out, trading on each other, finding the kills. And it's definitely been an interesting game from both perspectives. You know, Liquid having a decent start, you know, countering their plays with the utility, perhaps know the positions of NRG. We've seen that with the Molotovs coming in. Elige knew there would be a player on the opposite end of the smoke, so he sprays through, gets that frag. So NRG definitely have had the sort of tendencies found by Liquid. They've had to adapt, and I felt like they did adapt after the sort of tactical pause that came through. You've seen a string of rounds begin to pick up there. I believe it was 5 there for NRG in a row, and then Liquid were able to win one back there, and then at the end, NRG will take the lead going into that second half. So still here, I give the edge to NRG in terms of how this map is playing out currently.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment of the situation. Also, we can't only look at the frags. I like to give the more supportive players some love.
Yeah.
And over on the NRG side of things, Fugly is way up there at the top in terms of the utility damage. He's done 350 damage with utility, and the next closest player is Breezy with just 34. So clearly Fugly's been doing work with the nades, and again, that's kind of how the dynamic works between Cirque and Fugly towards A, right? Cirque's going to be involved in the action, Fugly's there to back him up. So even though Fugly hasn't necessarily found too many frags, he's currently only 6 kills and 6 deaths, so he's clearly not been involved in the action too much. He's generally been setting up his teammates, but after a brief halftime break, we're going to get ready to get into the action, underway into the second half, a game which could still go either way. Liquid are hanging on in there, but I think it's fair to say NRG favorites for this map at this point.
Yeah, they definitely look really solid. You know, they've adapted well. Liquid, they came in with the anti-strat in terms of the utility. Looked pretty good at the start, but again, started to fall off. And coming into the second half, Liquid really want to get this pistol. They need it, in fact, to get back into this map. The CT side is definitely where Liquid could do some damage. You know, if they play proactive, they find those headshots, use the individuals on their team. NRG coming towards the B bomb site with all 5 players. We've got a set piece of mind, you would say, because, Alex, they've got plenty of utility there. Oh, look at this from Liege. Oh, this is massive.
The bomb is in the player's hands. Elige could cause so much problems, but Ethan gets the dink. Elige on just 1 HP has to fade away, and NRG realize they're choked in. They're just going to hit B.
Oh, this is amazing for NRG. You know, Ethan being able to spin around and find that causes so many problems for Liquid. The boost coming in from Naf. He spots the information, gets 1 headshot, and tries to fight against Cirque. Not hitting the shots. They walk right into the trap of Breezy, who's able to pick himself up a double kill. Ethan and Daps, they're going to step in with 1, and Twist, the only player finding anything for Liquid here, has to 1 versus 4 to win this. They know exactly where he is, and Cirque, the battle of the Titans continues as he will eliminate Twist here and give the pistol to NRG.
Just overwhelming the B-bomb site. It's as simple as that. Even with all the information, Liquid weren't quite ready to hold. And in terms of the buy for this round, some teams have decided to force up on these second round buys after losing the pistol round. But I think the generally preferred option is going to be to save. And that's what we see from Liquid here on the CT side of Overpass. Cirque jumps on his teammate's head, just gets slightly further forwards. Spray through, not really connecting. Ethan just took a nade to the face. That's him down to 45 HP. And he will continue to lead the charge with the MAC-10. Doesn't fully clear the corner. Trade's coming through, and Twist doesn't get the second kill he was looking for. Oh, in the meantime, Breezy pushes forwards, and this is perfect for NRG. Only losing the 1 MAC-10, that's not a big deal, and Naf has little left to do.
Naf making his way up towards the top of the ladder. You know, in this scenario, anything is a bonus. NRG will plant the bomb, give themselves all the extra money. Naf will just back away slowly, but NRG, finding the start into the second half is exactly what they want. They want to get this dominant half started. And if they can start things off well, then it's going to be difficult for Liquid to find a foothold back into Overpass.
Naf just keeping his aim warm. He's moving his crosshair around just a little bit. He hears these steps. He knows Fugly's coming this way. Again, it's only a MAC-10 on the other side, so it's not a massive deal. And there we go, 1 kill found, but Breezy instantly trades on towards him. with only 2 AKs being invested, NRG can save those fairly easily. And now the question becomes, do we see the full buy from Liquid? I'd assume it would come through, considering they almost fully saved in the previous round. But they did invest a fair amount into a couple of those pistols, into a couple of those nades. So I think if Liquid buy, it might be a bit of a weaker one, as we should get back into the action shortly to see what the buys look like for both sides. And, ooh, this is interesting. The weaponry is there for Liquid, but NRG have held on to their MAC-10s. We could see some quick up-close fights with these SMGs.
Yeah, Ethan here with the MAC-10 as they run into the water position. Dap's able to find a twist, doubles up for Liquid, and gives them the man advantage coming into round number 18. A really important one for them, and Twist could get a little bit more done here as he picks up the triple. Looking for the quad kill. The FAMAS runs out of ammo, so he has to fall back inside the water. But both of the players are here. Fugly up towards short. Breezy inside of the smoke, inside of Monster. Twist with a quad kill, looking for the ace, but dropped by Breezy. It's on to Nitro, Naf, and Elige to just take this one player down. And Breezy definitely is a player that could do this for NRG. They need to give him the respect. They can't allow him to have a series of 1 versus 1s. Otherwise, he can very easily pull this back. So Elige making the correct decision to just sit back, waiting for this kill to come through. And with 23 HP, 1 bullet could do it. 1 bullet would be enough, Alex.
It's almost impossible to find a way Breezy wins this, especially with his back turned. Elige will finish the job, upgrades to an AK to boot. And again, Twist is really performing. 20 kills now after that quad kill in this round. That's such a good sign for Liquid. I'm really glad to see him showing up. Again, he's had some health issues, I believe, recently. I think he missed one of the online games because he was having his wisdom teeth removed or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it's good to see him back into peak form, because if NA are going to have a strong team, you've got to assume Twist is going to be a big part of that. So cool to see. And again, we've been kind of talking about Liquid's struggles on that T side. You also have to remember there's an in-game leader on both teams. That's a point we have to make, right? You've got Daps on the other side trying to read everything you're doing. It's not easy to make those calls all of the time when the enemies can be a bit ahead of you, when they can be a bit more prepared for the map, as we see Liquid lose the opening fight. And just as I was singing Twist's praises, he's the first to fall in this round. Classic curse of the commentator.
That's exactly it.
I'm sorry, Twist. That was my fault. I shouldn't have talked about him.
Yeah. I feel like that. There is probably a science study behind that. Although coming into this, NRG having the advantage into round number 19. It's exactly what they want. Liquid, again, not that much utility left. They've got 2 smokes, 1 Molotov, a flash, and a HE grenade. So definitely enough to get the job done, but not optimal. And Cirque will find the head of Elige as he tries to get a little proactive on the long position. And Cirque connects the headshot, gives the advantage further to NRG as they run towards the B bomb site. Liquid are in for a nasty surprise as Nitro was actually just about to leave.
That's never good. Taco's up towards A.
Oh no.
Nitro is going for the full-on rotate. They're gamble stacking the A bomb site at just the wrong time. 30 seconds left on the clock. And I assume at this point, Liquid are going to have to save.
Yeah.
I don't see a way they go for this one. The push is going to come in, and NRG are going to have a wide open B bomb site. They're loving life.
Yeah, Naf able to find Daps at least, who was really trying to sell that pick towards the A site or catch off the rotations as they run in towards B, but it does happen. They take the B bomb site easily, NRG. And Liquid, like you said, no other option but to save at this point. They get the wrong read and they run back up towards the A side, and that costs them. NRG playing very good here on their T side. 11-8 will be the score, and it's hard to look past them getting more than that.
So NRG win another round. We'll see what Liquid can save here. Again, we have to put this into context. The fact that Liquid are already putting up a pretty good fight on Overpass is giving me good signs for the future, right? In the rest of the best of 3, this isn't a map that Liquid play all that often, and you would kind of expect NRG to be very well prepared for this one. As the desk was pointing out, this is a map that NRG always love to play, so it's not necessarily an awful sign for Liquid. If you're a Liquid fan, I wouldn't be too down on them, because I feel like we have kind of been questioning some of their calls, but this isn't a map they're going to have put as much time into, right? So I predicted Liquid to win the series. I've still got faith in that from what we're seeing here. We're seeing all of the positive signs for Liquid to be able to come back later on into the series. And who knows, they could still come back here on Overpass, as it is a tactical pause called by Team Liquid. They will be able to have Zeus chatting away, and you can see Zeus is fully taking control of this pause, using all the time to communicate to the team.
Yeah, they need to figure something out. Zeus is going to be that guy that's going to let this team know there's still a chance here. Give them perhaps a few more ideas to work with. Liquid coming into this, again, are going to be lacking that utility. It's not going to be there. They're not going to be flourishing with that. NRG are definitely in the driving seat currently. Liquid have to be the obstacle that smashes them out of the way, because NRG, everything is just going their way currently. And even at this point, you know, Twist has no head armor, and it would be quite disappointed if he was eliminated by Mac 10. That would be sad.
That's always a sad sign when that happens. You never like to see it. Could come through though. We'll have to wait and see. Twist currently playing in towards the B bomb site. Liquid heavily leaning towards B. With those two players in connector, they've left A almost entirely open.
Yeah.
They've got their backs turned as well, so they're confident they're not going to get flanked. And you can see Nitro maybe having second thoughts about that one. Fugly leading the way through connector. Daps is here alongside him, but that molly denies any CT aggression. And again, a bit of a nervy start into this round. Daps will lead the way. The Mac 10 is gone, and Fugly not really able to trade. They're going to be sandwiched in here. Fugly finds them. That's a big swing in the round. The man advantage gone for Liquid. It goes the way of NRG.
Yeah, that's exactly what Fugly needed to do there. You know, his teammate goes down. Yeah, they lose the Mac 10, but the AK having it in that position, it's such a good weapon for picking up those multi-kills. And Liquid just unable to deal with him. And that gives NRG the best possible stance in this round here. And they should be able to take 12 unless Liquid can pull off a wonderful clutch. We've seen Twist and Naf be able to do it together. Taka was here this time. He could be that supportive element to try and assist them to get into the bomb sites. Again, the only problem is to hold off the bomb sites, should I say. The only problem is they've only got the flashbang. So this could be a bit of a problem, as NRG definitely position themselves towards the A bomb site. Naf in the back lines towards the bank. He's going to hear the info that it is coming in towards this side of the map. And so it's just so difficult. You know, the utility there from NRG, that's going to prevent Naf from really getting anything done.
Yeah, Naf's realizing the situation. He's realizing he almost has to force something, trying to step into the flames to do so, because a 3v4 retake is not an easy task to accomplish. Cirque deciding to reposition, and Liquid don't look too interested at this point. Once you go a man down, it's not a bad idea to try and stack a bit towards a site, right? You've got to make some kind of call, you've got to make some kind of risk, and unfortunately, Liquid's risk doesn't pay off on this occasion. They're going to have to save again. And NRG starting to get a reasonable lead here. Again, though, Liquid kind of hanging on. They save their guns. They give themselves an opportunity to try and do something into the next round. But it does almost feel like this game is slowly slipping away from Liquid.
Yeah, NRG are getting everything to go their way. You know, Liquid find the advantage there. That's a great start from them, finding some, getting aggressive on their CT side and finding the advantage. But suddenly, Fugly comes out of nowhere. He's able to double up. And finding those two kills immediately causes problems for Liquid. They're kind of forced to just save those weapons at that point, because Liquid can just commit into a bomb site with, NRG can commit into a bomb site with just everyone. And so it's difficult for Liquid. And this one is not looking much better, Alex.
Ooh. They don't even get the force buy with the saved guns. It's just going to be the full eco for both Elige and Nitro. Obviously, the upside is that they've got a reasonable losing bonus built up, having lost the last 2 rounds, so they should be good to buy into the future. And there's still every chance they could try and win this round. Twist getting aggressive to attempt to do just that. Realizes he almost needs to make a play with one of these rifles, and there's only one player on the other side there. Could get interesting as the boost towards B will also come into play. Taco gets the timing just right. Opening kill found, but elsewhere Twist loses his duel and Elige not in position. The flank is not going to come through. Breezy survives on a slither of health.
Yeah, Elige just desperately trying to find this kill, but Breezy, he's going to be able to pick it up. Just add more insult to injury as Daps comes in, finds Nitro. Taco wants more of the action, and this time will trade upon his teammate. Ethan will say no, and Tackle will not get anything else done. It's on to Naf at 1 versus 3. Definitely possible for a player of this caliber. He thought about running away, but he wants to go for this. The bomb's not yet planted, so there's definitely a chance here for Nafly to get something done. and not spotting anybody towards short. He's going to run back up towards A. Needs to be careful because look at Breezy. He's on this lurk. You got to expect him to be in these positions, and Breezy will find Naf as NRG definitely solidifying control here of Overpass. Only 3 rounds away from taking this first map in this best of 3.
It's almost now or never for Liquid. The buy is here. They almost have to win this round, and look at who it is on the AWP. It's Taco this time around. Obviously, Liquid don't really have a strong primary AWPer, so it's okay for Taco to pick it up sometimes if he's comfortable with this weapon, and I don't think anyone else could have afforded it. As for NRG, maybe we're going to see a switch up in the pace of play. They're moving straight in towards B, and Liquid need to be aware of this.
Yeah, running right in. NRG looking to just try and put the foot to the pedal as they go on in. Twist able to pick up the first kill. Taco stepping up. Naf with one as well. Only 1 kill being found for NRG currently. Ethan and Circa to walk in with a couple themselves and actually pull it into a 2 versus 2. Nitro up towards the heaven position is looking down upon his serfs with that AUG. And Lee's just got to walk right through that smoke, does not care. He knows the player around this area and will give away the position. Ethan lucky to stay inside of the smoke, spots Nitro up towards heaven. It's all onto Elige, no kid alive, so he's got to move very quickly indeed. And with the time ticking so low, his chances are draining quickly. As Ethan is here with the AWP, he gets safe inside of the smoke again. The timing is just perfect for him. And Elige is baited into the angle. He is dropped by Cirque, and that is another round of the board for NRG. Played to perfection.
Yeah, there was that one streak for Liquid in this game. They got, what, 5 rounds in a row back on the CT side. Other than that, it's not really come through for them in the rest of this one. Starting to fade out of Overpass. Again, the positive signs for Liquid are the fact that Twists is showing up.
Yeah.
The rest of the team may be a little bit lower on the fragging numbers, but still some positives to take from this for the Liquid guys. Twists obviously the key man for them, but... Yeah. It seems like Overpass might be a bit too far gone, although at the same time, Liquid are obviously looking more towards the other maps anyway.
Yeah, just to reiterate, I mean, we've had best of 1s throughout the day. A lot of them. We finally into the best of 3 stage. We've had the first best of 3 play out. We're in here in the winners matchup between NRG and Liquid, and this is a best of 3. First map is picked by NRG. This is their comfort ground. You know, Liquid, they recently beat them 16-7 at ECS last week, and so definitely very comfortable on this. Where NRG last played Liquid at the best of 3, they were able to 2-0 them. And so Liquid coming back at them and trying to prove a point here, make a statement. And it's not looking great so far. They've only got the pistols to work with. NRG looking to try and pick up here, Overpass here. This would be map point. If they can win this convincingly, then it should be victory.
Liquid hoping to do something a bit unorthodox in this one. Stacking in towards Connector. Oh, I like this boost as well. This can often work for at least 1 kill if the players aren't looking this way, but Nav makes noise. Now Liquid won't want to go for that boost. There wasn't anyone there to hear it for NRG, but they're scared of the fact that there could have been. So a slight misstep there for Liquid. Doesn't matter too much. But they've still got to get something done with just the pistols in this round. NRG are somewhat spread out, but they're starting to group up now. They're looking in towards the B site. Again, you can see Breeze on the lurk, while the rest of the team move over towards B. And Ethan looks likely to lead the way towards this site, which seems to have been vacated. It's only Naf here to stop them. Yeah,
Naf is the only player here. He has got the deagle. They spam away through the smoke, just desperately trying to connect something. But Daps will eliminate him. Dispatch with the defense. And Liquid really trailing behind here. It's Twist, Taco, and Elige trying to come in with just the pistols. And Ethan and Breezy not making it easy. And Taco will fall to Ethan. It's all into Elige in a 1 versus 5. He will be dropping himself a kill on a Breezy, but AK in hand. 1 versus 4. Time is ticking. It's all about the kills here. It's all about the exit frags. And maybe just get that AK into the next one. I mean, Liquid won't have that much anyway. So anything he can grab is essentially a bonus.
There's almost no way to win this, right? Gotta just think about saving. Oh, Cirque, if he'd have stuck around a second longer, might have been able to deny the AK from being saved. I'm not sure Elige is safe here. The bomb could be a problem for him. And so could, oh, that shot might make the difference. Elige stays alive, crosses back over. Seems like the AK may just about be carried over into the next round. Maybe if 1 or 2 more shots would have landed, he would have been done for. But here we go again. Liquid trying the buy. They go for the double AWPs. They're trying to switch something up. Nitro and Taco are going to do what they can. But it's a long, long road ahead of Liquid if they want this comeback.
Yeah, they haven't really had much success ever since that good start that they had. And after the string of rounds that they won, they ended up losing it, and they just really haven't been able to gain that momentum back. NRG have just outclassed them on this map, and we're into the possible last round. Liquid, double upsetter coming through. It's Nitro and Taco equipping them. Running over. It's not that much utility on Liquid either, so NRG definitely still in the driving seat in this last round, or possible last round.
Again, Liquid holding back. They have got these 2 AWPs, so they can definitely afford to do this on this occasion. Just hold the angles, see if NRG maybe fluff a flash or make a mistake and give them the opening pick.
I feel like in this type of round, though, you need to get one of those AWPs playing a little bit more proactive, especially on a map like Overpass, where it allows for some CT aggression.
Definitely could be an option, but they're deciding to just stick with their standard setup. And Elige must be tempted, but he knows there could be an AWP. Oh, they line up. Elige doesn't get a single kill. That's such a shame for the CT side. Now they're put on the back foot. Now they have to react to NRG. And if Elige wins that fight, maybe it's a different round, but it goes against him.
Ethan is pushing up inside of B as well. He's going to try and sell this as he makes his way through the monster tunnel. Only 40 seconds on that clock. He's going to try and cut off those rotations. He's got to work with his teammate. Taco spots the angle. Ethan able to hit the headshot. Surely that calls a reaction from Liquid. They are going to fall back away from the A site, and that's exactly where NRG want to punish them. They want to run right into this bomb site. Plenty of utility still left. They can make this and confirm it. Ethan wins the fight against Twist, causing more problems towards B, but they haven't spotted enough presence there. It is going to be an attack into the A site. 15 seconds left. Fugly will dispatch with Nitro as Naf tries to get in, and NRG are the victors here on Overpass. They take it 16-8, and Liquid, they improve upon their previous score, but only by 1 round.
Yeah, Twists ends as the top fragger on the server, but it's not enough for Liquid on this first map. Again, it was NRG's map pick, and impressively, NRG had 4 players, almost all on 20 kills. Even Daps helping out the team there. That just goes to show the skill on this roster, the depth of talent, and you also have to mention that Fugly hasn't really been playing a role to get him the kills. He was just setting up Cirque for a lot of that CT side. So really good showing from NRG. I think they probably would have expected to win Overpass, all things considered, but it's still nice to win it in convincing fashion.
Yeah, I feel like Liquid coming into this one would have loved to make a statement, but like we said, NRG is just so comfortable on this map. We've seen how comfortable they are. It's really bringing it to the next level, you know, not really getting flustered when it comes to the retake situations, just sitting back passively, waiting for a well-timed execute back into the bomb sides. The T side looks strong, the CT side looks strong. The only times Liquid really picked up rounds were big individual performances from Twist and great utility usage. And when Liquid started to lose control of the money and the economy, they didn't have the utility to really make those plays that were winning them rounds.
Exactly. There was that one streak that we saw come through there for Liquid. Other than that, there wasn't really enough for them on Overpass. But again, I still think there are signs of life for Liquid throughout the series. Twist's performance is definitely a good sign. That's something that was missing at ECS that we're starting to see come through here. So as long as that can continue, there's definitely an opportunity for Liquid. But we're going to have to see if that takes place throughout the series.
Yeah, shining lights on NRG though. Cirque is playing well, Breezy playing excellently, and it's just really great to see. But I think we've talked a little bit too much, Alex. We're going to throw it over to the analyst desk and see what they have to say about this match.
You guys have never talked too much. Don't worry about that. Thank you very much, Dinko and Hawker. What a game, right? We see a Liquid start off strong. We see signs of like, okay, look, this could be a different Liquid. And then NRG do what they do best, right? They will never let Overpass slip away too far from them. They'll fight back with good strength, good effort. But I'd say the positive for Liquid is we see, okay, Twists, he's back in form, he's back in shape, right? Because he's had his bouts where he said about health issues and stuff. He's not been at the best time. We've seen Zeus have to step in. So that's a shining hope going into the second map. But NRG, they just rolled all over Liquid, really.
Oh, you're right. And I think Twist being on fire is probably the only positive that we can bring for Liquid.
Sadly, yeah.
Considering they were up 6-2 on the T side. So they were T side up 6-2 in a beautiful position, and they lose 16-8.
Yeah.
You have to realize how big of a comeback that was from NRG. But I mean, we expected it. Like, we knew that NRG is a good map, is a good team on Overpass. Yeah. And also, you could see that even though they have some troubles on the CT side, they didn't start well. But because they are so familiar with the map and so comfortable on it, they are able to just completely take over it, even as T. So this is a sign of when you really good on the map. You're able to do comebacks. Depending, CT side, T side, doesn't matter. You can do the comeback. That's what NRG did here, and they were very impressive.
And I think one thing you can take away from it, look, NRG, they got, like you said, it was 6-2 down. They didn't have a whole lot of time to take out those ops, and that's something we commended them for on their CT side. The reason they're so good here on this map is because they have those aggressive plays. They have the AWP plays with Cirque that he's able to lock down large portions of the map. And when they can't get them out, they struggle a little bit. But ultimately, Liquid not able to manage their economy forever. Eventually, it comes out, it starts working for them, and they bring things back. Look, looking at the end of the first half, you'd be forgiven for thinking, you know, Liquid have got a good handle on this game. But once NRG get on that T side, like you said, Matthew, they're a comfortable team here. They know their map, and they walk away with it. Only the one round given over. And Twist did a good job. They're stepping it up. I don't particularly feel like the rest of the team shone through as strongly, like you said as well. But I feel like we'll see a different team on Inferno coming up. I think Overpass is a map that, look, NRG are so strong here. They beat big teams all the time. You know, we were talking about their win rate earlier. What was it, 73% or something around there across 15 very good teams. I think that when we go to Inferno, Liquid can still have a chance to come into this. It's their map pick, like you said. You want to be. We were talking about it earlier. You want to be coming into your map pick and thinking we can win this.
Well, let's talk about Inferno in a little bit more detail, right? It's certainly a map we know NRG can play. They're willing to get involved in it because, let's be honest, it's a map that's picked out so often these days. But that, I think, is the scary fact here. I know Team Liquid are a team that can bounce back, but we have seen this kind of, they hit a stalemate, right? Where it's like hitting a brick wall for this team. And I don't want this to be it. I don't think it should be it. We can see the strength Liquid has, and I just need them to kind of reset themselves going into Inferno and play their A game now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the shining light for Liquid in that second map is that, in my opinion, when you take Overpass, I would say NRG has a much more understanding, like tactically, of the map.
Definitely.
You know, they can play slow, they can play fast, they can play the A side, the B side, and they would do that better than Liquid, in my opinion. That's not. I wouldn't say that about Inferno. I wouldn't say NRG has a better understanding of Inferno.
No.
I don't think they have better tricks and tactics. I don't think they have better principles. So in that sense, it's going to be a level field, as you say. Everyone plays Inferno. Most people know how to play it. And that means that the individuals have to come online. That means the people are going to need to make individual decisions to win their rounds, because the meta of Inferno is pretty much clear. We know how to play it, and teams are not renewing the map per se. So it's really where individuals are going to shine, and in that sense, I would give that to Liquid. So just shining light for them still.
I think one of the things about NRG in particular, though, right, one of the intimidating factors about them is Cirque's ability to always find opening kills. I mean, the way that they set up, particularly on the CT side, you pretty much have to give him an option, or you have to expend a large amount of utility to move towards a bomb site, at which point they know where you're going, and so they can start the rotations pretty early on. Now, that does open up the door for fakes, of course, but you always take the risk that maybe Cirque's the one anchoring down, and he'll be able to take one, fall back, take one. He's good at that, you know, setting up multiple different fallback points where he's able to safely get a kill, move back, maybe even a flashbang goes in from his teammates and he gets more. I feel like he's always able to milk the most out of those angles. And so coming into this, into Inferno, I think that's one thing that will stand to NRG on their CT side. And we've seen a strong T from them on Overpass, but like you said, it's not necessarily a case where Liquid have no idea what's going on in Inferno to the extent that, as they do on Overpass.
Well, we look at some of these recent map results, right? And okay, let's start with NRG. North and overtime wins, not too bad. 16-10 versus Made in Brazil. So-so, MVP, big, space station. So it's not as high caliber of names as what Team Liquid have had to face against. But even still, when you look at Team Liquid's last set of maps and who they've played against, it's still a very convincing win rate percentage there, which shows they can play it. The question mark, though, I have is that loss to complexity. Like the Astralis one, I understand phase completely, but the complexity one's the worrying factor. They can't have games like that, especially not now after losing the first.
No, definitely, I agree. When you're Liquid, you cannot lose to complexity in that sense. But I think we have to consider the complexity Inferno bubble of some sort. We know
yes, we
not
saw
a
it
bubble
major.
in the sense that they are playing better, really better than other games. But at the major, for example, they've had really good result on Inferno. So in that sense, complexity definitely a team that can play Inferno. We should not downplay it by any way. But you've been saying it, 68% win rate for the 25 maps that Liquid played against top tier opponents almost all the time. That's a statement. They know how to play Inferno, right? And I'm scared because for NRG, I don't really see where they're going to make the difference. You were talking about Cirque. I think you made a great point, but I just don't know if Inferno is a map that fits that style. Overpass clearly is a map where he can move around, be aggressive, then be defensive, close the rounds. But do you have these kind of opportunities on Inferno? A little bit less. Maybe if you're aggressive on the in the middle, maybe Banana if you want to peek down, but you're very much more limited. He could do it on Overpass. I don't know how he's going to do it on Inferno.
Yeah, you have much more maneuverability on Overpass, right? Whereas Inferno, you know, let's paint a simple scenario. They spot him towards Banana, but you know where Cirque is now. Let's go away. You know, it's that kind of situation where he's much easier to avoid and push him into those late round plays where they can push him back with utility when they've got the bomb planted and such. I think that it is kind of harder to see. You know, in the last map we said NRG pretty much had it right, and coming into these, it gets a bit more scrappy. The likes of Inferno and Mirage. The positive thing for NRG, they've got 2 maps to win this in, right? Yeah. Liquid are on the back foot. They've got to win 2 in a row, and we've got to start to think, you know, this is a team that have been suffering at closing out tournaments in general. Now they've got to close out best of 3 where they're already at a disadvantage, and that mentality, we were talking about it earlier, maybe is building up over time. This is the team that they've got to beat in the finals as well, more than likely. You know, we pin them as the favorites for the finals. It's almost a preview of what we expect to see coming through. So getting off to a poor start here certainly wouldn't help them out with that mental game.
Well, I certainly don't think Liquid are down and out of it, but it's troublesome times. Guys, we're going to go take a quick break, but when we come back, it's going to be time for the action. We'll be going straight into the game. It's Inferno. It's do or die for Liquid, and NRG will be hot on their heels. So enjoy this break, and when you come back, you'll be back with Dinko and Hawker to bring you the action.
Sie haben eine Big Box bestellt?
Fatih, wer war das?
Das war irgend so ein hässlicher Typ, Mann. Riesengroß war der auch.
Hässlicher Typ? Ich mag keine hässlichen Typen.
Ich auch nicht, ey.
Was ist denn das?
Ich glaube, das ist so eine Big Box bei runtime.gg. Vielleicht sollten wir das Unboxing-Video machen. lieber nicht, ne?
Banks have failed to move with the times, but we don't need them. Back in 11th century Italy, merchants from all over would exchange their different currencies for trade outdoors on benches, which is where we get the word bank from, banca. They started as a way of making our lives easier. Unfortunately, this all changed. As the bank profits grew bigger, customer experience was lost in a maze of paperwork and bureaucracy. They invented new and complicated ways of growing their margins, built on hidden fees and taking liberties with their customers' money. But there's a solution. Revolut Metal, a stainless steel card that does more than just look good. An authority to tear down borders, make our finances as mobile as we are. Free to spend in 130 currencies worldwide at the real interbank exchange rate. Think sending unlimited amounts of money abroad with no fees.
With free worldwide travel insurance. Think seamlessly buying and selling cryptocurrency in seconds and earning cashback instantly in the fiat or cryptocurrency of your choice. Access to 24/7 concierge from your phone to book what you want, when you need it.
For a truly borderless lifestyle. And all this in your pocket.
Demand more from your bank. Revolut Metal. Radically better.
Place your bets at gg.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at gg.bet.
Welcome back to the Supernova Malta. We're in to the best of threes, Alex. We've just seen our first best of three go through, and then we've seen the first map of the second best of three between NRG and Team Liquid. The first map was Overpass. It was pretty one-sided.
Yeah, pretty one-sided in the end. Obviously, Liquid started putting up a fight at the start of the game, but as it went on, it came clearer and clearer that NRG overall were the better side on that one, and we'll see what is going to come through on Inferno now.
I kind of feel like we knew that NRG were going to have a huge advantage on Overpass, but I think it was more in the grand scale of the best of three. I still kind of favor Liquid, right? I still feel like they could take Inferno here. Mirage was a map that, if we have to go to, it will be map number 3. And in the previous time where NRG played Liquid, they ended up losing. Liquid ended up losing on Mirage, but it was 16-14. So these two teams going pound for pound against each other are definitely pretty evenly matched across the board, right?
Yeah, definitely seems like that could be the case. We'll have to see what Inferno offers us, firstly, to see if they are going to be going back and forth. We can't get too ahead of ourselves because there's still a chance that NRG could steal this away. This is a pretty strong map for NRG as well in terms of win percentage. In fact, recently on Inferno, NRG have won 12 out of the last 13 times they played this map. But I am going to point out a lot of that is online NA Counter-Strike against some of those weaker teams. So maybe it's a bit overinflated, but it's still a map they can play.
Yeah, I feel like we got to take as many LAN results as we can possibly into sort of when we're deciding this and sort of making our predictions. And sometimes, like you said, online CS can skew the results a little bit and the statistics aren't as clean-cut or clear-cut. So I think it's just basically we got to look at the small sample pool that we have. And currently NRG are definitely looking very confident. Everyone on their team is stepping up. I guess the silver lining, like we kind of talked about, was that Twist is here for Liquid. And he stepped up on that first map. The rounds that they won, be it like 8. So, I mean, Twist was a huge influential part to pretty much every one of those, right? So he's a player that stepped up, is pitched as one of the best players, if not the best, in the North American region. So really nice for Liquid to have him firing.
Yeah, and you've got to assume that this Inferno pick is somewhat of a switch up from Liquid. It's not the map they normally would pick into a series like this, but I think due to that recent history, they wanted to change something. Maybe they've done a little bit of extra homework on Inferno. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, coming into the pistol, which will probably happen a little just some time. You know, NRG, they've been pretty good at sort of when they get the good starts, they just kind of sweep it up. Liquid need to start coming into this one. They need to start feeling confident immediately when they're in this game. And so Liquid, they need to win the pistol. It's a must at this point.
Would be a really nice start for them for sure. We would like to see Liquid win that pistol round, get off to that good start. And we won't be starting with the pistol. We'll actually start with the knife round.
Generally, we haven't really got to see it, you know, us personally. You know, sometimes we've seen knife rounds today, but it was usually with the analysts, right? On this, I feel like it doesn't. It's kind of weird that we're having a knife in a best of 3. Surely, all right. Anyway, the knife round on Inferno, I feel like matters a little bit more. I feel like the CT is still pretty CT sided, but when you're at this level and you're so close, you'll probably have a close game, right?
Yeah, I think Inferno's a fairly balanced map as well. Shouldn't be too big a deal as to who wins the knife round. We really just want to get into the actual action. Again, see if Liquid can compete here on Inferno, see what they've got up their sleeve. In terms of their team, obviously, Twists is the man we were looking for earlier, and yes, he showed up, but he kind of needs some support, right? He needs a Liege, he needs Naf to help him out in terms of the fragging power for the Liquid side of things. And on Inferno, that's definitely something that we could see coming through. We also generally see the AWPers sometimes get a bit stifled on this map. That's something else to watch for in terms of Cirque and his performance, because he was playing pretty well back on Overpass, and we've got to see if he can continue that form into Inferno, which might be a slightly more difficult map for him.
So, coming into the pistol, NRG, it's the Kevlar across the board for 4 of the players. Ethan going to be the man to carry the utility and the defuse kit. Over on Liquid set piece, I personally see a set piece going in here. Obviously, the amount of utility is definitely leaning towards that being a possibility. Twist having the smoke and the double flash. It's a little interesting that you've thrown it on over to him.
Yeah, 2 sets of nades on Twist and Elige, 2 of the star players. Definitely an interesting sign. Fugly and Breezy trying to hold alongside each other, but they decide to fall back from that position. In fact, it's a 4-man A-stack from NRG, so it's a good thing that Liquid played a little bit cautiously, making sure they don't commit into a full site stack. And there is still every chance that Liquid could try and go over towards the B side of the map, just gaining control of apps. But that seems less and less likely as Cirque takes the initial point of contact.
Yeah, Cirque sitting back up towards the top of the apartments. If they run out towards that balcony, surely is there for the frag, but Daps in underneath, dark position, able to pick himself up a double kill, but Elige, he doesn't need the Kevlar. 2 kills come in off the back of him. He's able to make it work for Liquid. They've got a 3 versus 3. Headshot comes in as Naf is dropped by Cirque, who sits inside of the pit. He connects on attacker. That's the bomb dropped. It's all on the Elige, and right through the smoke, Breezy will connect the headshot, decapitating Elige and giving the pistol to NRG.
Nice job from Cirque there. Getting those 2 kills was definitely the swing factor in that round. Liquid attempting to move in towards A. As we pointed out, there was a bit of a stack there from NRG. They looked rather ready for that one. Maybe there's some sort of read there. Obviously, these teams play each other quite often over in the NA scene. And into this second round, we've seen some teams go for the full spy. Again, we've seen it in this series, in fact, but not this time for Liquid. A full eco, apart from Elige, who got a couple of kills and can therefore afford the deagle. So most of this round will be based on whether Elige can find some sort of entry, and NRG aren't going to offer themselves up too easily.
Oh, Cirque could have got himself an opening there. NRG generally are quite good at when they sort of take that pistol, finding a bit of success towards the beginning of the half. So Liquid going for the full Glocks into play. I feel like the pit position is always one that is very entertaining to watch, and having a player like Breezy inside of that pit is going to be very scary for Liquid.
Yeah, he can definitely dance around those angles. We won't be seeing that in this round, though. The pressure is going to be put towards the B side of things. Fugly's Incendiary will slow things down slightly. It is the 2 SMGs towards the B bomb site. Maybe that gives some slither of hope for Liquid, but it's still rather unlikely. Fugly tries to dish out some damage through the smoke. Unable to do so. Obviously, Elige going to be boosted up with the D. Ooh, the angle not quite there. Ethan spots out the player and actually gets the spray through the smoke. Twist is gone, and they're going to go pushing.
Yeah, Ethan able to line them all up with a UMP. That's plenty of cash added, and Fugly able to connect the final kill. NRG will take 2-0. They keep all 5 alive, and Liquid, you know, didn't really expect to get too much done into that last one. It's all about this. And look at these odds, Alex. So close, slightly favoring NRG.
Yeah, I mean, it is Liquid's map pick, but it is a map that NRG are absolutely capable on. And into this third round, NRG will decide to stick with a fair few SMGs.
Yeah.
That's definitely something you can afford to do on Inferno. Those SMGs don't mind getting up close in towards Banana, and they've got a bit of a stack over towards Banana. 4 CTs leaning towards B at the start of the round. Obviously, these utility are going to be deployed down this position at the start of the round, and that's forcing Liquid to have second thoughts about pushing into Banana, but Elige will still push forwards.
Yeah, Elige having the SG in play. Again, we kind of talked about that earlier, right? He is a player that has been picking that up a lot. He's going to be dropped to 35 HP at the beginning of this round, though. And that's not exactly the most ideal situation for him to be in. Ethan able to double up with the UMP. Suddenly, Taco has to pull this back for Liquid. He's in behind towards CT. NRG should know this. Their defense is being spread thin thanks to Twist finding another headshot. Liquid still stand a chance here, and probably the advantage as Twist continues the fight.
Wow, the A site is fully open. The bomb's still a little undecided. Naf quite far behind the rest of his team. If NRG realize that, they could cut off the bomb right here, right now, and Naf might be in some trouble, but Ethan is drawn away, and Naf comes in to sideline him. It is going to be Twist taking the attention, Naf coming through with the frags, and NRG not able to convert with those SMGs. But again, that was almost a bit of a bonus round for them, right? They should still be buying into this next round, and that's what they're going to be looking forward to.
Yeah, this is Twist in pure Twist fashion. You know, we talked about it. He's back. He's playing well. And these are all the kills that showed so much impact for them. Liquid really need him to continue this great performance through this map if they want to be able to bring us to Mirage. I feel like on Mirage, you know, we already talked about it earlier. It's definitely possible they could pick that up, especially with the X factor of Twist being alive here. Although look at this proactiveness from NRG. Cirque could actually pick himself up an opening, not getting baited by the shots of Taco.
Oh. Chicken's nearly got in the way there, but Cirque spots out Taco and sidelines him, and Molly goes in, forcing the players back even further. And Liquid may just have to commit to Banana at this point. They have no map control elsewhere. They know that their opponents have pushed through B apps, so Liquid are just going to go for a quick B push.
Yeah, how quick has this round happened, actually? You know, Twist, he's dropped first, Taco's followed up, and the amount of damage done towards Banana has really just forced him to walk right into the crosshairs of Ethan, who's able to double up, and with Elige being on 19 HP, surely he falls. And Fugly comes in with the MP9. Liquid definitely down and currently this is, you know, they win one off the back of an individual play from Twist, but NRG back in full force. I feel like Liquid definitely need to start to pick up the gun runs a little bit better, like more consistently. I feel like they're relying a lot on the individual plays, and NRG just have everyone playing well across the board. So NRG definitely having a little bit of an edge here, but Liquid, they're going to buy into it, Alex. They've got themselves a mix and match. They've got an AK in play on Nav, UMP, couple of Deagles, CZs there. Definitely looking like it could do damage, but not exactly the best.
Ethan pushing down mid. Again, I always say he's the most aggressive member of NRG. Maybe a bit too over-aggressive this time. Liquid could get that AK back, but Breezy only gets one of his own. That's going to be rifles recovered by Liquid, and Dap's going for some more aggression. NRG just not letting up. They keep on pushing, and it's finally worked to give them the man advantage. However, all things considered, Nitro and Taco won't mind this position. Considering their buy at the start of the round, a 2v3 with AKs recovered isn't awful, but as they move in towards A, NRG seem pretty well prepared. They've rotated over.
Nitro and Taco, insurmountable task ahead of them. Circle connect onto Taco. Nitro the last player alive, 1 versus 3. Bomb will be planted towards the back of the bomb site. Nitro is to win this. This will be one of the most heroic plays we've seen in the tournament so far. As he moves towards Library, finds the headshot, but Daps eliminates him quickly after. And that will be NRG again, finding themselves another round on the board. And Liquid definitely a little better from them. I mean, from what they brought to the table, finding 3 kills in a bomb plant, not bad, but the next gun round will be the deciding factor of how this half will play out.
Cirque again gets the AWP into his hands. I was wondering if he would take a bit of a backseat on Inferno, especially on the T side. That's when the AWP is much more difficult to use. But on the CT side of things, you have some options. We even saw Cirque get up close into the apartments previously, which shows how confident he's feeling. And obviously, it's been Ethan leading the way in terms of the fragging over towards that B bomb site. He started things off strong with 9 kills, and again, Ethan trying to take the opening engagement, but this time he is dealt with. The pistols overwhelm the first player, and Fugly's got to hold this off alone.
Towards this position is so strong as well. You have so much cover to play with. Just dip in and out and find yourself headshots. Taco is finished off. Fugly doing a lot of work. He delays long enough for Cirque and Breezy to arrive, and that's the kills coming in. Taco, or Twitch, sorry, is the last player alive on 20 HP. And USP will connect through the cranium. And that will be the round picked up by NRG. Liquid, this is the important one though, Alex, coming up. They've got a buy round coming in, and this is so important.
Yeah, Fugly is almost like the Mr. Dependable of the team. You can always rely on him to do his job there. Ethan may be overextending a little bit, but he's always got his teammate there to back him up. It works fine for NRG as they end up losing, I think, just the 1 player at the end there. I'll quickly check if that's right. Yeah, only the 1 casualty, only Ethan dying. So that's really nice for NRG. After losing the opening pick, they take every single following frag. And this is a tactical timeout from NRG. Maybe not 100% sure as to whether Liquid would be buying. They should be aware of that now, but maybe they were just taking a chance to make sure they had everything well thought out. They made sure that they know exactly what they're doing for round number 7.
So NRG brought to the table 4 M4A4s, well 3 in fact, an AK, an AWP in the hands of Cirque. And over on the Liquid side of things, it's the 4 AKs and an SG in play, something that we've just gotten used to seeing. I mean, obviously Elige has been picking that up quite often. Fugly getting aggressive with Banana, finds the initial kill, but Elige able to pull back. Doesn't even need the scope. He just keeps spamming through. Ethan hops up, looks for the trade. There we go. Advantage picked up yet again from NRG. And this is exactly what we want to see, some confidence inside of Banana.
Yeah, NRG happy to fight for that position, but they know when to give it up. Ethan gives his team the man advantage, and with the smoke still in his back pocket, he can just play for the info, and as soon as the shots come in, the smoke is deployed. Then boosted up to the flower pots position, one that can be very powerful, especially when a CT smoke comes in, and you can see they rarely check this position. Allows Ethan a 3 frag on the opening. Trade eventually found. Breezy goes down. Great kills from Taco. He's brought this one back, but low health on both Liquid members.
So difficult. They've got a grenade and a Molotov alive on NRG, which makes things just a bit more difficult for Liquid. You know, a grenade comes in, eliminates probably both of them if they're standing together. They've got so many options they can play with here. Oh, this is getting difficult. Oh, they're stacked up. A grenade would end them both. The tower would topple, but Naf gets the boost in. That's exactly what they need. Cirque is dropped. That's for fun. Naf, and this is the grenade. This is the play. It comes in, and Taco is dunked. It's going to be 6 on the board for NRG, and that is heartbreaking for Liquid.
Daps, the quarterback, finds the receiver. Great job there. I decided to throw in a little American reference. It is an American game. Yeah.
I like that one.
All-American game here in the winners matchup of this group. And again, we're saying this could very well be a matchup we see in the final. But right now, NRG are proving themselves worthy of trying to compete for that best team in NA, which is definitely a title that is somewhat hotly contested now, with Liquid starting to struggle a little bit, especially in this matchup, right? We saw the facts that in the analysis desk earlier, we said that NRG had won the last 5 times they played against Liquid on individual maps, and that's still coming through.
Liquid going for the half buy here, leaving a little bit of money in the reserve. Cirque misses on an orthodox shot and is actually forced inside of the archway. Doesn't matter though, because Breezy will step up when called upon and Taka will be finished off. Liquid coming into a 4 versus 5. Daps and Cirque, they have the bait and switch setup. Cirque can pick up the first kill. Daps peeks out to try and find the extending frag. And Molotov, that smoke covers off the vision from the archway. But the attack from Liquid looks to come in towards the A-bomb site. And Breezy is waiting inside of the pit. And Molotov goes towards the back line. Stat's going to step up. Twist able to reply with the CZ. But Breezy, inside of the pit, gets himself the triple. And 7-1 on the board for NRG.
What a superb spray down from Breezy. That's exactly what you want to see. He was maybe the one player that's been slightly quieter than the rest. He instantly shows up for the side, and NRG's strong start is showing in those odds there. They are now clear favorites for this map. It was closer earlier on, but here we go from Breezy.
Yeah, this is beautiful. This is so nice. The skill that takes to switch vertically as well. It's coming down diagonally on those 2 players, and to find all 3 of those kills is just phenomenal, and that is excellent front. NRG definitely looking really hot coming out of the gate here. But Liquid, they have another buy here. This could be the time to step up in this first half.
Oh, Cirque getting involved in the action. Gets the opening kill. He's helping his teammate Daps, who's pushed forwards, and Daps struggling to take the fight on this occasion. I think he's being left for dead right now, but Cirque still helps out. A second frag found with the AWP. It's into a 3 versus 3, a very frantic round. The push has come down Banana, but Taco's moving in towards A. They've left the bomb in towards mid. If Ethan were to push forwards, he could find that. There's stuff happening all over the map, but it seems to have slowed down as Taco decides not to push yet.
He's going to try and play the slowly play contact, give the info to his teammate Naf, get ready in position. Fugly on the bomb site, player Breezy hiding in towards the graveyard. This is going to be so incredibly difficult. Liquid moving through, Fugly able to pick up the first kill, Naf able to reply, but they still have not checked. Naf will double up and opens up A for Liquid. Ethan has to come in clutch. Finally, Liquid find a way to get themselves into a bomb site. Now they just have to take it over the line. Ethan coming in from short, has got the flashbang to work with, but they don't know where he is. And he's in such an advanced position, they can really make this work. He goes for the peak, but Naf will continue as he will pick himself up the triple kill and Liquid's second round on the board.
Yeah, and again, the fact that NRG were winning some of those earlier fights, were winning some of those earlier rounds, that just goes to show how impressive it was, because clearly Liquid have talent. We all know that. The fact that NRG were able to win the fights is impressive, but we finally start to see the Liquid players shining through. Again, there's always that fear that once these Liquid guys show up, they want to make their mark as the best North American team, and that's something that they've probably been called for a fair few months now, but it's definitely starting to come into contention. We've got to see a bit of an uptick in terms of form in this series if they want to come back into this one. A 7-2 scoreline on the board. NRG with a decent lead early on. And again, we'll see this nice round from Naf.
Yeah, this was excellent. Naf definitely the big hitter in that one. And again, Liquid went off the back of an individual play. You gotta consider, you know, how long can this go on before you start winning a string of them? You can't just have one where one player pops off and you win yourself around and then lose the rest. You have to start stringing them together. Cirque goes for the opening pick. Will just slightly miss the head of the player standing on T-stairs. That's Nitro, I believe. So the utility battle comes in towards Banana. That's generally the most methodical style of play you can bring. They go for the boost. Ethan, lucky to be alive there. If the headshot comes in, he's instantly dropped, and they keep pushing towards the sandbags. They should know both players are here. Ethan picks out one Nitro, dispatches with 2. The smoke will come in CT. That'll cover the vision of the rotators. They have control of B, Alex.
Yeah, they don't decide to wait for the bomb. They just know they can take the site. They take control of this position. NRG somewhat slow to react. They must be aware they've lost the B bomb site, but they also must be aware that that B bomb site is not an easy one to retake. So Daps tries to move into position. He's going to look to see if there's anything left to be done over towards this side of the map. And he should hear the bomb plant momentarily. A smoke denies his vision. And at this point, NRG not really in a great position to try this. You can see Daps looking for any way into this round, but it seems like they've called this one off.
Yeah, man advantage there for Liquid. You know, they've got the bomb site. NRG, their money is gone after that one round. So that's really testament to how close these rounds have been, right? You know, their economy hasn't been able to build even after they've won, what, 6 rounds in a row? Maybe no, 5, I think it was. But still, that's a substantial amount to start to build up the money. And Liquid have brought them close in a lot of occasions. So Liquid just unlucky in a few rounds. Could have been a much different storyline. And finally, Liquid able to chime 2 together, giving themselves 3 on the board.
And you do have to look at NRG's money, as the bell goes ringing off on Inferno. Always fun. Liquid obviously have money for the buy into this one, saving so many guns. NRG a little bit more questionable, but with those 3 guns being saved, they decide it is a worthwhile investment into round 11. They've still got the AWP in the hands of Cirque, and he hasn't necessarily been going too aggressive. He's almost always gone in towards mid, though, and this round we'll see a switch up from Cirque. He's moving over towards Banana, and this could be some early action.
Yeah, running right in. It goes for the opening pick. Cirque able to collect it. Of course he can. But this, no, they know the AWP's here, but Cirque continues. He finds himself 2 kills. Will eventually fall back, but that is excellent. Cirque under so much pressure, so much artillery fire from Liquid in terms of the utility, and he's able to walk away with 2 kills unscathed, really. I mean, 52 HP after taking that much nade damage on board. He's done an excellent job, and Liquid have just been crippled. They've got to run back towards A, but look who's here. It's Cirque again.
Oh, this could be nice. It's a bait and switch over towards A long. Naf thinking about fighting. Breezy's been taken out in the meantime. They're just going to completely miss this AWP. They're moving towards short, and they have a free path to the A bomb site. That's certainly a nice start for them. Again, Cirque is still sticking around, but Liquid have nades to use. This could be very doable now, even with the man disadvantage.
Yeah, Daps creeping up towards short, has the MP9. You've got Cirque waiting in towards Library in that cubby corner. You know, so this is definitely doable for NRG. Daps just sitting on short, has 2 teammates coming towards this position as well, but Elise is up inside of the apartments. There's a couple of players inside of the site for Liquid, and the kills have come through. Twist finds the headshot on the Daps, Fugly dispatched with from Elise, and Elise continues. What a nice clean headshot through the box, eliminates Cirque, and Ethan with 6 HP has to back all the way through Banana, picks up an AK on the way, but this will be 4 on the board for Liquid, and leaving NRG starting to crumble a little bit here. Their money will be gone. The only thing they'll have to work with is what Ethan brings into this next one.
Yeah, this game's starting to spice up now. This is what we wanted to see. Liquid getting a bit of a streak going, working their way into the game, and that was just really well played by Liquid to find the 1 point of weakness. As soon as they found that single entry towards short, it gave them free passage to the A bomb site. It allowed them to get that bomb down safely, and then in the post plant, they set themselves up pretty well on that bomb site. Again, there's just so many angles NRG have to clear there. That's what makes that a difficult retake, and look at what it means for NRG. Only the 1 AK saved for Ethan. He is going to be playing in towards Banana, but the smoke should deny any of these early fights. Fugly might be dead here. The nade goes a bit too far. 11 HP, but the boost can come in, and Ethan still gets dealt with.
Yeah, Naleej will have an idea there's someone else here. He's going to spam through. Actually, Fugly somehow is still alive here. Just going to stay around. They assume that he would have fallen back, but he has the Zeus. Now, there's no money reward from this, but getting the kill is definitely just an ego factor. You love it, but they're going to check him. Twist will come up on top, clears the angles, and Liquid methodically take control of B. Leaving the 3 players from NRG, saving those CZs and Kevlar over towards the A bomb site. Liquid will take 5, and like you said, this game definitely heating up.
I assume we'll even see Liquid throw that AK out of the map, if we're being honest. That's what you'd assume at this point. The 1 AK that NRG saved may be saved no longer. As Liquid take a bit of time with the bomb plant, making sure everything's good to go. Taco struggling, but finds the spray down. The second man goes into his crosshair, and there is an AK recovered for NRG. Maybe I spoke a little bit too soon. Daps trying to sneak away with a rifle. And Liquid's money is decent, but they will also be thinking about their own economy. And you can see they are all going to exit together. There is that AK thrown away. No chance for NRG to get it. Oh, that's not needed, Nitro. Come on, mate. The chickens are friendly.
Well, obviously wants the actual protein.
Maybe.
Strict diet.
Maybe getting a bit hungry.
Yeah, well, this is definitely looking pretty good for Liquid. Daps actually going to be able to save that AK. Cirque. Oh, Cirque trying to get a kill here on Twist. Drops into 1 HP and able to find it. And there we go. the chicken, no chickens were harmed at all. We swear.
That chicken's got a twitch or something.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, I don't know. Although on Liquid, oh, yeah, I don't know what's happened there, man. This is unnatural.
Oh, God.
Anyway, Elise, they've got themselves.
Is that chicken getting tasered?
Yeah,
right
I don't
now?
know. I think he's still suffering the effects of the Zeus. Elise continue with that SG. I really, sometimes, I was kind of wondering, you know, how often he's going to pick it up. But this guy is nuts with it. We've seen so many incredible plays from him. Cirque again. Cracking things open. Gives the advantage over to NRG.
Cracking Liquid open like an egg in this one. Taco the first to fall on this occasion. Liquid not really wanting to challenge that AWP any further. And again, Cirque has generally played around the A site. Liquid should be aware that that is almost a probability at this point. Cirque has gone towards Banana maybe once or twice, but generally he has played in towards A, and Liquid's still not ready for that one. Maybe a bit of a misstep at the early stages, but it's not lost them the round yet. In a 4v5, it's still absolutely doable for them. In terms of their stats, Liquid win 30% of the 4v5s they are in, and that's on the slightly higher end of things. So we'll see if Liquid can do anything in this round as they start to move in towards A.
Yeah, Breezy pulling himself back inside of the pit. Daps waiting on the default position as Liquid begin to run in towards this side. Twist able to open things up, 2 kills. Naf doubles up, eliminating Twist, so he only gets the 1 kill. And Ethan and Folkley, it's save time again here for NRG. Liquid definitely finding a way into this map. You know, I said it earlier, it was still pretty close. You know, clutch situations, Liquid getting unlucky. Could have been a completely different scoreline. But towards the end of this, Liquid really have turned up the heat. And we're starting to see a much more close game, which is kind of what we expected here in Inferno between these two teams. Very even.
Yeah, pretty evenly matched. Again, also quite a balanced map, which is showing up in the scoreline. Very little in this one. And with NRG likely having to go for a weaker buy into the upcoming round, we could absolutely see a 7-7 scoreline and therefore a very close first half. Ethan trying to go forwards. I think he was looking for an AWP, but there's not one to be recovered. So it's just the 2 M4s saved for NRG. And into round number 14 we go. I believe NRG's money might be there. It's going to be a close one for them. We'll see if they decide to buy up into this upcoming round, as I believe NRG have just taken a tactical pause. So they are going to be talking this one through with a slightly awkward economic situation, but I assume they will be buying.
So this is time for NRG just to try to evaluate what's happened or reevaluate what's happening, because yes, it's kind of similar to what happened to Liquid, right? On Overpass, you know, they start off strong, they look really good, then suddenly Liquid have found a way back into this on Inferno. They found a way back into this first half, and NRG really don't have any answers at this point. So this tactical pause comes through. They'll discuss with Armapet, their coach, and obviously Daps, the in-game leader. They'll come up with a plan here. I mean, on the CT side, this is not a bad buy. They've got 5 rifles across the board. Utility is there on every player. 3 kits alive as well. So this is definitely not a bad buy by NRG by any means. So Liquid, this is their time to shine and try and get themselves 7-7.
Yeah, I didn't realize just how many rounds NRG had lost in a row. They had a much bigger losing bonus than I was expecting because they've lost the last 5 rounds. So that they can afford to buy into this one. Didn't quite realize that situation. Obviously, that means that Liquid's money is flowing, firing on all cylinders. They will be fine for the rest of the half. Whereas NRG could be the ones pressured once again. Here comes the play, a quick play from Liquid, much faster than usual. Twist gets 1 kill, but the trade's coming through. Cirque doing work with the rifle as he gives his team the man lead.
Yeah, into the 4 versus 3 man advantage there for Liquid. for NRG. Liquid desperately trying to fight back. They've got a deficit to work with. The flashbang coming over the top of the boxes. Naf able to open things up, but Cirque comes in with a huge frag. Nitro grabs one. Spray coming in towards the pit. Elige will try and hide, but Ethan able to tap away and connects the bullets to the head of Elige. Nitro into the 1 versus 2. He drops Ethan. It's Fugly, and Nitro will go huge. A triple kill, and Liquid will even the scoreline out. That's exactly what they wanted.
Big clutch for Liquid there. That's exactly what they needed. They keep their win streak going. 6 rounds in a row. And again, you can see those odds shifting all over the place, starting to favor Liquid more. Again, this is their map pick. One I was expecting to be rather close. Seems like that is indeed coming through. Cirque is back on the AWP. And again, he has been surprisingly strong here on Inferno. I thought this map may be a slight weakness for him, but no, he's proven me completely wrong, making me eat my words. It's Fugly who's going to push down Banana. Damage being done both ways, but it's Cirque again to get the entry. He's on fire.
Oh, they find the follow-up as well. Ethan will drop the grenade on the Nitro. That's amazing for NRG. Considering coming into this, their buy is much worse than Liquid's. They needed to get aggressive. They needed to find an advantage. And Cirque finding it with the AWP. He's went for it plenty of times. Started to be a little bit unsuccessful, a bit unlucky. This time he connects. And the grenade follow-up puts Liquid in a very difficult situation with only 3 players left. And NRG actually have plenty of utility left.
NRG still only have Ethan towards B, though.
Yeah.
Finally, the rotate comes through. I was going to say, with 5 players alive, that was a little bit of a risk. But Ethan, confident with the jiggle peek, I think he may have just spotted the player there. So the smoke is deployed. That could allow Fugly to get into a bit of a better position. Liquid still using their nades, though. They molly off the flower pot boost. That's a nice start. And they actually have a free path to the site. Unless some of these stray bullets connect, the bomb should be planted safely. And Liquid have weaseled their way into this round.
Yeah, look at this from Ethan. Oh my god, he's got himself 2. Naf able to find 1 back, but has to clutch a 1 versus 5. 30 seconds on the clock, and Naf looks to take a 1 versus 1 against Fugly, and he will not win it out. That is Fugly saving the team here, NRG, and they will take a 1-round lead moving into that second half. But what a comeback from Liquid.
Absolutely still anyone's game. And again, you can see a tale of kind of 2 different teams. Ethan and Cirque right up there for NRG, whereas it's much more of a team effort for Liquid. And I think you can also kind of see the fact that in some of these rounds, Liquid were winning. They were just getting a couple of entries they needed, and on occasion, NRG just had to save. So that doesn't show up as much in the stat line in terms of the kills, but the rounds are all that matter in Counter-Strike. At the end of the day, as long as you get the round wins, you are doing your job. And Liquid have been able to grind out a fair few of those. About as close a half as you can expect. 8-7, still anyone's game at this point. And as we head into the second half pistol round, Liquid on that CT side are going to be putting 4 players down over towards A. In fact, they're going to be pushing down mid.
This is incredible. Liquid just looking to try and get as much aggression as possible. Cirque could cause problems, but they've double stacked. This is such a strange pistol. Taco gonna walk up behind, finds himself 2 headshots, and what a massacre here. Liquid find all 5 players in quick succession. NRG had no idea what just happened.
Look at Nitro smiling away. He knows what he's done.
Yeah.
Looking at the camera as well. That was perfectly read by Liquid. They are delighted with that one, and that's got to give them a confidence boost straight into the second half. If anything, NRG might be a bit rocked. They might be wondering what just went wrong for them, because they were absolutely annihilated there on the pistol round, and we do see this T-side force up into the second round. Again, some teams like the Eco, some teams have been taking the risk of the force buy, and Twist doesn't want any of it. He gets aggressive early on.
Yeah, finding that kill, Breezy finished off. It's a man advantage for Liquid coming into this. Exactly what you'd expect in the scenario here. They have the MP9s in play, MP5 as well, along with the Soul M4A4. Twist going to pre-fire himself out inside the middle. Doesn't spot anyone, so play can then resume to slow. NRG, 2 players inside the middle. M4 towards top of the boxes as Taco will connect on the Daps through the wall. Elige will drop the bomb, and that's really good because the bomb just falls to his feet. That should confirm victory. Ethan and Cirque will have to come in and try and claim it back. Yes, Ethan gets 1 kill on the Twist, but he's got 4 more to find here. Taco will limit Cirque. A little bit of damage on board. Naf needs to sort of fall back here. You know, you can't allow Ethan to get too much more done. So he'll just fall back, doesn't get greedy, and Taco will finish off the job as Liquid will take 9.
quite a few SMGs picked up there for Liquid. I think they only had the one rifle, so that could have been slightly scary against the low buy. And that's almost why I like the aggression from Twist there. It gets some early info. You kind of figure out if NRG have forced up, and you can definitely sneak away with a man advantage from those apartments, because the risk of pushing apps is oftentimes the fact that those walls are paper thin. You can easily get wall banged, but that's not really going to happen with the CZs. You have to conserve your ammo, and oh, what is this? The push down mid, and this is going swimmingly for Liquid.
Yeah, 3 versus 5. You got that easy pickup towards the Glocks, but it's not a Glock in the hand of Breezy. It's a P250, and he's able to make it work for a kill. Grenade comes in and lands towards his chest area. Luckily, it bounced off the wall, so it doesn't do as much damage as it possibly could have. Of course, unarmored probably would have eliminated him. So Daps and Breezy just staying alive, trying to get something done. But Nitro, he's got the MP9 around the bottom of Banana. It's nice to see Liquid still playing pretty conservative, you know, not really going for this. They know they don't have to. And so playing smart, taking every round that's possible. Because you mess this up, you give NRG a chance back into this game.
Yeah, shouldn't be too many chances for NRG unless those mistakes are made, as you suggested. Nitro just jump peeking Banana, making sure that he gets the early information if needed. Naf is the one player low on health, and he is in towards the pit, so maybe Breeze could find something, but Naf was actually in towards the graveyard, rather, so damage dished out once again. I don't really see a way NRG win this round. I guess it's just damage at this point. Breezy showing the bomb once more. 30 seconds left. They've got to make sure they die before the time. That's the main aim for NRG at this point, and they will reposition towards Banana to test Nitro.
Very slow, considering what NRG actually had to bring to the table. I'm going to try and challenge Nitro, but he's fallen back in the M4s here from Taco, just trying to catch them out, you know. 10 seconds, Nitro plays with the cover. Eventually it will be a pretty easy cleanup. Liquid don't throw away too much, only one player going down as Liege. Of course, he picked up 2. So the money is definitely there for Liquid, and a great start into the CT half. They've got the AWP immediately pulled out onto Taco, so that's going to be fun to see. Liquid will get the buy through the full buy. Could be a bit of a bonus because they have got plenty of money left in the reserve, so they have a chance here to just go for that bonus. It's definitely a nice position for them to be in. NRG, it's going to be the full buy for them. They've got the 8Ks in play across every player, lacking that AWP in the hands of Cirque, but beggars can't be choosers. You've just got to bring what you can to the table.
Again, this mid-aggression, and again, we see Taco take the reins on the AWP. The flash comes through, and Twist is up close. Trade is found, but Ethan makes sure it's NRG who come out on top. Taco was not willing to stick around with the AWP. He knew if he was dead, the A site would likely be lost completely. So Liquid make sure they at least have some opportunity, and they are going to take a gamble stack here. With the 2 MP9s, they go in towards A, but it's not going to work for them. Breezy opens up.
Yeah, Breezy finding that kill on a Naf. Nitro able to reply, but Fugly is there. Takes the frag onto Nitro and pulls it all onto Taco and AWP in the hands of this guy. You know, interestingly enough, it's been talked about on the desk quite a lot today. You know, Nitro is that AWPer. He's the main AWPer for the team, but haven't really seen him pick it up at all today. And Taco's actually picked it up a few times. You know, back in the SK Gaming days, we used to see Taco pick it up sometimes. You know, if they went for a double up setup. Even triple up sometimes, back in the day. Taco looks to just try and save this sniper into the next one. He's going to run back towards the cubby. The bomb will explode towards A, so he's just going to try and pick off a kill here. Maybe a 1 or 2 frags can come in, but again, that would risk, you know, losing the AWP.
Getting some sexy chicken action from behind. Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yep.
Wait, it's going to die to the bomb.
No.
Not again.
No. He runs towards it, man. He just wants to die. He's done with this world.
Did everyone die to the bomb?
Every single person died to the bomb.
What just happened? It's not only chickens, it's people as well.
They were fascinated by the chicken, and they all just ran to the corner. I don't know how that happened, actually. They almost have been so low that the corner did not save them, or they just didn't get boosted up on time. Even Taco losing the AWP, you would have liked to seen him just fall back in towards ruins or whatever and just try and save that AWP for Liquid. But no.
Yeah. I wasn't even paying attention because you just assume they know their health. They know they can save safely. Apparently not. And so Liquid lose a lot of their money. In fact, look at their money now. They've had to fully reinvest into this one, into round number 20. The nade goes down Banana. 2 points of damage total. Not Nitro's best nade. If they were a bit deeper, it definitely could have done the damage, but NRG have already pushed up in towards Banana. 4 players ready to try and move forwards, and Nitro's got to get the timing right on this smoke.
Nitro's got to spot the information. The smoke will come through once they rattle off a couple of shots. But that will deter NRG from that area of the map, and they will actually fall back. I'd like to try and find some space elsewhere. Although Daps is toying with the fact he wants to go in for this. NRG definitely making a preference towards the B side of the map, and they want to go here. Nitro has the SG, or the AUG, in play on the opposite of this smoke. He's looking for a little bit of a boost, Alex. Definitely ready for this to be a B hit, and so we'll fall back into a more passive position where he has cover to play with.
I was just watching back the previous round. I think it was a nade thrown by the last CT that did the damage. Either way, we have to focus on this one as Nitro already gets the 1 kill. Naf in the back lines. There's no molly for this position yet. And Naf gets them. Spray is good for 3. Huge play from Naf. And Taco chimes in with 1 more. Liquid just keep on winning these rounds.
Yeah, that's huge from Naf. Just in towards the back lines, finds all the kills needed, all headshots. And Liquid just keep pushing forward. You know, we talked about it. Inferno has to be their map. They have to win this. Liquid want to make a statement here. Yes, you throw away overpass. That's going to be NRG's map every day of the week. But you need to take Inferno here. And we move to Mirage. Like I've said, like we've pointed out numerous times at this point, Twist is here to play. And that's a really big factor for them. And, you know, the last time they played NRG in that best of 3 at ECS, they only lost up Mirage 16-14. And with a performing Twist, you've got to give them the edge there. So running in, NRG trying to take B once more. It's a kill coming in from Nitro. Naf able to walk in, but still not enough really down. But Taco connects through the smoke. Cirque will be able to find 1 back for the CZ, but Naf is here. And he will say no to the rest of NRG. It's 12-9, and Liquid definitely building up this lead.
Back-to-back triple kills for Naf. Someone who was somewhat quiet before this point. I think he's almost doubled his kills in just those last 2 rounds alone. But what a time to show up for Naf. He gives his team a fairly convincing lead. At this point of the game, a 3-round lead is quite significant because we're heading towards the latter stages and it could be extended even further. That was a full investment from NRG, gone horribly wrong as they only have the single flashbang to work with in this round. Daps is going to have to work a miracle with that flash because it's only Glocks to back it up. And it looks as though they want to try and go in towards Banana, where Liquid are looking to fight. That 1 flash is still yet to be deployed.
Nitro. It's going to be boosted up as they run towards Nitro. Able to pick up 1 with the AUG. He's dropped by Ethan in reply, so it's on to Naf. We'll continue the spray as he picks up the triple kill. It's all into Daps, 1 versus 4 as he backs away the ball in an unretrievable position, and Liquid again hold B easily.
3 rounds, 3 triple kills for Naf. He just keeps on going with these triple kills towards the B side of things. As Liquid again extend their margin of victory at this point of the game. They've got to be feeling good about their chances, and I assume we're in a timeout because Zeus is chatting to the Liquid guys. Oh, it is a tactical pause from the Liquid side of things. After winning a few rounds in a row, they realize this is the key moment of the game. NRG are back to a bye. They've got the AKs out for this round, and you can see Zeus again being very vocal in these timeouts. And we haven't talked too much about the coaches throughout this series, but Zeus is obviously someone with a lot of experience, widely regarded as one of the best coaches in the scene. He is a great asset for Liquid to have behind them, and that's why when the timeout is called, you can see no one else from Liquid talking. They are taking all that they can from the knowledge of Zeus.
So, Liquid again come into this. They've got the AUG in play. They've got the rifles all over the board. And NRG got themselves the AKs all across this board along with the utility. It's a great nade from Naf. That's going to do so much damage. Ethan and Cirque, they're dropped extremely low. And so Liquid only 3 rounds away from taking victory here on Inferno and bringing us to that 3rd map. You know, NRG have already picked up Overpass. 3rd map will be Mirage.
something I haven't really said so far in this game is that Liquid statistically are the team that have the most average damage per round with nades, and another one comes through. 3 NRG players chunked down to around half HP. These nades are on point for Liquid. Again, they almost rival Astralis for nade damage per round, which is definitely an impressive stat in and of itself, but Taco is going to be dealt with. Those nades don't make enough of a difference as NRG wrap towards A. Daps takes another kill there. Ethan able to crack open the A bomb site, and it's only Nitro and Naf saving over towards B. Again, that was kills just coming in all over the place. We barely got to see the action because NRG just swarmed that bomb site, and Liquid will be forced to save. So NRG hold on. Even though those nades come through, Liquid can't win those all-important fights.
Yeah, Liquid just saving over towards the B bomb site. Starting to really drain their economy here, NRG, you know. Finding the round pretty convincingly. It does matter, you know. If you don't have the money here on the CT side, you can begin to really lose control of this.
Saw the OK symbol on the side of the screen there.
Yeah,
like
things are definitely not okay for Liquid.
Yeah. Well, they've still got the lead, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, in terms of their economy, I mean, it's starting to go a little bit downhill. But, I mean, with that bomb going off, they've still got plenty across the board. So they'll still get that full buy.
I mean, the thing here is that with a 3-round difference, Liquid's money is still absolutely fine for this round. NRG obviously can say the same, having won the recent one. But this becomes another swing round. The money there somewhat for both sides, but you really don't want to be losing this one. And we see 2 Orgs taken from Liquid. Again, Taco really seems to be the player AWPing for this Liquid side of things. He's not necessarily had too much impact with the AWP as of yet, but I'd say that's generally because it's his teammates falling around him. He can't necessarily get into positions where he can make the difference with that AWP. And again, we see these preemptive nades from Liquid. This time, the timing just slightly off. The damage not done early into the round. That time is a smoke down banana, so Ethan won't be taking any damage from that one. And Liquid thinking about fighting for banana control.
You go NRG towards this side of the map. Twist getting boosted up. They check the angle. Elige will be able to step in for 1 kill, but that's not enough. Taco has to walk in, gets dropped by Breezy. And Nitro and Naf into the 2 versus 3. Man advantage there for NRG, and they will have somewhat control of the B bombs as they pulled all the rotations off towards A. There's only 1 player here. This is excellent from NRG.
Breezy, again, just selling all the presents. Doesn't win that fight, but Nitro chunked down to 8 HP. And I think Liquid will realize they have been bamboozled. Oh, no, wait, they're sticking around towards A. They haven't figured this one out. The time is being wasted. Ethan pushing forwards. This is incredible. Nitro is caught off guard. And Naf, I don't think, can do this. At this point in the round, he's realized with that advanced position from Ethan, he's just got to bail on this one. NRG sneak away with another round win. And Naf will get to save the AWP, but with the lack of losing bonus for Liquid, I'm not sure it's enough to prompt a buy. We'll have to see exactly what the money looks like. I also like the way NRG making sure they get away from the bomb this time. They don't want to die to the bomb.
Yeah,
it was Liquid last time, but just be safe.
Yeah, that was a great grenade coming in. Obviously, we were distracted by the chicken, Alex.
Yeah. It's easy to get distracted by the chicken sometimes, all right?
Yes. So, coming into this, Liquid's money, it's kind of a mix and match. A couple of players have a little bit of cash. Most of them don't. So, you've got the option. Yeah, you have the lead. It's starting to sort of crumble a little bit here, but yeah, you've still got that lead. And so, the buy coming through on a couple of players, they'll buy around the AWP with a couple of pistols, leave enough in the reserves. And so, let's see what they can get done with this. Naf looking for the early peek on the AWP, receives damage and not the frag.
Yeah, Naf not generally all that aggressive of a player for this team. In fact, he tries to get the entry the least out of all the players on this Liquid squad. So it might be a bit difficult for him to try and sort of force these opening engagements. And now that NRG have spotted the AWP towards B, they decide to move into this A bomb site. It's only pistol players here, and here we go with the push. Against the pistols, they should be favored on the NRG side.
Twist able to pick up a kill on Ethan with a P250. Fugly headshot on the Twist. It's into a 4 versus 4. Daps will hit the headshot onto Taco. And walking right into the bomb side. Nitro able to pick up one with the CZ. Cirque onto Elige. Nitro and Naf have a 2 versus 3. Naf running right through the smoke, has the AWP. He's looking towards the pit area, but ooh, that's a nice bit of damage done onto Naf. He's dropped to 15 HP, he's on his own. Is Fugly finally able to find the headshot? Naf is backing out of here. He's got to get that AWP into the next one. NRG finding a way back into Inferno.
It was Naf that shot Nitro with the AWP there, I think. I don't know how that damage was done. It seemed like Naf got a team assist. That must have been a real sad position. I guess he was holding back from Library, so he spotted a player in the crack and just decided to pull the trigger. But that's what ends up costing Liquid the round on this occasion. Naf saving the AWP, and this game getting closer and closer round by round. Again, Liquid saved this one, so they won't be as worried about losing it. Naf is still going to want to save the AWP over to the next one because Taco's money isn't really there, and obviously that AWP will likely be dropped into his hands. Cirque sneaking forwards, not yet running, so I don't know if he's going to get here in time. Maybe could get the wallbang, but it seems unlikely as Cirque nearly gets there, but not quite in time. So that AWP can be dropped over to a teammate. It will be the full buy for Liquid, and at this point of the game, the scoreline is so close. We're coming down to the crunch rounds. You need to make sure you've got those full buys.
Yeah, this is such an important round, right? You know, Liquid, they've got the open play on Taco. Something they've been generally going for the setup where they just have the rifles around one of the, either the AUG or the SG coming into the CT side. It's definitely been Taco picking up that AWP. But the two AUGs in play on Nitro and Leash, coming for some aggression. Naf just walking right through. Dap's able to connect. Naf had really no other choice, essentially, when that Molotov came in. He couldn't fall back safely. And so the man advantage is there for NRG. They begin to pull themselves over towards the A site.
I mean, Taco's here with the AWP, but he's not got much assistance holding in towards top mid. As soon as the smoke is deployed, he is forced to reposition. Twist is playing up close in towards the apartments, but that slight rotation drawn could make all the difference. The smoke is deployed to stop Cirque from pushing, but NRG will be moving up in towards short, and Taco having to play on the site with the AWP. A slightly closer angle than he would like, but he gets the first. Taco makes it a second. This crossfire doing the damage for Liquid as they turn the round on its head.
Yeah, Daps and Cirque stuck in a 2 versus 4. Liquid may have just done it. They've done enough to try and pick up finally another round win. Quite some time, and there we go. Elysian Twist, they find the frags. And it's a pretty clean one, only losing one player, that's Naf. And that was in the initial fight towards Banana where he was kind of forced to go aggressive due to the utility. So Liquid pick it up when needed. And so coming into this one, NRG, yeah, probably still going to have enough money to get a decent buy into it, but Liquid finding success again, they can start to build the momentum off the back of this.
Such a shame for NRG that they get that opening kill and don't take advantage of it as they move in towards A. That one crossfire just shuts them out entirely, and we see a bit of a switch up from NRG. We've very rarely seen the AWP on the T side, but Cirque decides he needs to try and get an opening in this round. He's decided to pick up the AWP, and again, NRG looking in towards A. They might go for a faster paced play into this round as they all group up towards this site. A second smoke from Elige might make them think twice about this push, but there goes Taco. First frag found, and it's a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, Lee's coming into the apartment, able to get himself one. Dap's able to reply back. It's into a 3 versus 3. Shot from Taco, that might be the edge. As he falls back inside of the pit alive, Liquid will keep the advantage theirs. Taco, oh, Dap's just with a 1-tap. Opens up A once again. Naf sitting quietly in the back lines towards the boxes, has the M4A4 in play, the bomb will be tapped. He's got to try and deny this, but just walks over the top. He will take the frag onto Daps and Cirque line in the pit on his own. It's a 1 versus 2 as the AWP trained on the position of A.
Fake defuse comes through. Cirque spots the player, gets the shot. Nitro there for the trade, and it is going to be Nitro securing this round win. And Naf there on the site had a decision to make in the key moment. He either could have chose to deny the bomb plant or choose to let the plant go down, then take the kill, and then give his team a 2v1 retake. And he decided they could likely overwhelm Cirque. That's exactly what happened. And Liquid take themselves 1 round away from forcing us to a third map. It looks like they might have done enough here. And again, it may have been a closer map here on Inferno, but as long as Liquid get the map win, we go into that third map, and it's anyone's game.
Would be the time to call a tactic pause, right? You know, Liquid on the verge of taking it to map number 3. Said it a couple of times. The last time these guys played in the best of 3, Mirage was the map that went 16-14. It was very close, and that is going to be the third map decider. So Liquid having Twists in their arsenal this time, who was a little bit vacant in the ECS finals. It's going to be definitely an edge that could perhaps take them over the line, that couple of rounds that they needed on Mirage. So looking forward to seeing if we can get to that third one. Liquid will have to take it over the line here, and NRG will do everything in their power just to end it now. So AK is in play on Fugly. You've got an AK on Daps, CZ, a couple of P250s in the mix, and definitely not a solid buy from NRG coming into this last one.
Oh, that's not the way to start the round. Breezy clotheslines Nitro, but Taco there for the trade. We said that someone needed to step up on Liquid. I was expecting it to be Naf or Elige to try and help Twists, but no, it's been Taco who's been top fragging for the team. This secondary AWP, or rather primary AWP even for Liquid on this CT side, seems to be making enough of a difference. Again, playing in towards the A side of things, it is still a 4v4, and NRG have recovered yet another rifle. Breezy gets an AUG into his hands, and Naf is the only man holding the B site for Liquid. Maybe a bit of a weakness in their defense, and NRG are looking to take advantage of that.
Naf throws the smoke, covers off players trying to get in towards B. Actually delay for a little bit longer as Liquid can start to pull the rotation back towards this side of the map. There's a second player coming in. There's Twists. Well, going to be an easy player to get rid of. Smoke will cover off CT. As NRG try to get back over towards the site. Naf is in on top of the coffins where they all can play. The smoke covers off his vision. The flashbang will do the same, and they keep pushing in here. NRG just trying to stay alive as they run in with 4 players. Liquid not finding them just yet, but the boost comes in. Twist able to find Breezy, and that's the advantage for Liquid. Naf right through the smoke, connects onto Ethan, and there we go. Fugly walks right through, is decapitated by Naf, and now it's only Daps between 1 and 4 players of Liquid. This is going to be so difficult. Verging on the impossible with 10 seconds, the bomb not in his control, and Twist will take us to Mirage. This best of 3 is going the distance, Alex.
Yeah, exactly what you want to see. Liquid bounce back here on Inferno. Really cool to see Taco find a bit of a different role, starting to pick up that AWP. We kind of discussed previously, maybe Nitro isn't that AWP you need. Sometimes Taco can help out. That's a nice sign for Liquid. And again, we're going to that third map. That's all Liquid needed to do. It doesn't matter how you win the map, just make it to go to a third.
Yeah, we've seen some big individual plays across the board from Liquid, right? You know, Twist finding around wins for them. We've seen Naf picking up big spread downs. And obviously, everyone in Liquid started to step up a little bit more here. And they looked a little bit more comfortable on Inferno than Overpass. NRG, though, definitely proved themselves on Inferno. They definitely got enough rounds, making this game extremely competitive.
Oh, yeah, I was saying that NRG are definitely a team willing to play Inferno. Yeah. It's just a case of the fact that clearly Liquid were the ones prepared for this. They were the one that picked it. We kind of knew that NRG would likely pick Overpass, but that's Liquid's pick that was a little more up for debate. And so maybe they could have, you know, caught NRG a little bit off guard with this one, deciding to pick Inferno on this occasion. That maybe makes the difference for them. They end up scraping a win. It was quite close in the end, but it felt like Liquid had control at the end of the game there.
Yeah, Liquid definitely, towards the end, started to build up that momentum, the pressure, and the individuals were starting to show up, which is a big factor of why Liquid were able to take this one. But to get a little bit more knowledge on this, we're going to throw it over to the analyst desk and see what they've got to say.
Oh, yes, and we have a lot to say about that. Liquid do make it work. A little bit of an iffy start there, though, once again. NRG looked like they could potentially be doing this 2-0, and we're all sat here going, it's that time. Do we look at what's going to happen to Liquid? But no, they do hold strong. There was a few key moments, but I want to start with this, right? Taco on the AWP. Not something we'd usually be talking about, right? But there was, I think it was like when it was 14, I think it was the 14th round for Liquid, and he just dominated their push into the A site. And without a round like that, because they had the numbers advantage on NRG's side, that was a big play. And I think that was the reason they were able to finally close it out. So I was impressed by Taco just from start to finish there.
Look, it's something we talked about earlier on. Chad was talking a lot about it earlier in the previous Liquid game, that it is something they like to do. They like to use the op more as utility than have a dedicated opper. And sure, you'll see Nitro a lot of the time picking that up, but they are comfortable throwing it wherever it needs to be around the map. I think it was Mirage earlier on where we saw Taco taking it, and now he's able to, he didn't do too well that time, But this time, clocking up, I mean, 24 kills on the board. He was top fragging by 6 kills above everybody else. And it's really nice to see Liquid winning a game where Twist isn't on top of the scoreboard, because so far this event, he's been the one that's been doing all the work. In the games they lose, he's on top. In the games they win, he's on top. This time, he's smack bang in the middle. He's stuck there, still having good impact, but everybody was stepping it up. And it was a map that we felt like, there wasn't anything particularly special for NRG there. Sure, they've got that up on Cirque, but it is something that Liquid had a much better chance there than Overpass, because we talked about it. Overpass was a map where NRG have that tactical advantage. They understand the map a little bit better. Inferno, more of a mid-ground. It's a map a lot of teams play, and we see Liquid winning it out, going over to Mirage. I mean, that's a map that's more frequently played. I think that's going to be an even closer ground for both of these teams.
No, I agree with what you said about the lineup, right? We said Liquid has a lot of depth in the lineup, and this is why even if Twist has a little bit of a quiet game, maybe Taco can show up, Nav can show up, Elige definitely can, Nitro can have games. So, when you have so many players that can step up, it gives you some consistency in the fact that at least 2 or 3 people are going to show up. This time it wasn't Twist, even though it has been in the past. A testament to the depth of Liquid. Also, I want to say that to me, this victory of Liquid is much of a victory of experience. Precisely in the last rounds, it was very, very obvious and clear to me that NRG, it's hard for me to say that.
I know,
NRG,
you love it,
you know I have a struggle with my French language. NRG, I feel like they had openings in the end. Even in the rounds they lost. They were 4v4, 3v3, and in my book, those are T-sided situations.
Agreed,
NRG had
fully.
the possibility to win round number 13, round number 14, but you could see the Liquid, the way they were moving around the map, they always were one step ahead. They had the right positioning. They had, you were talking about Taco in the triple kill he had on the A side. They had the individual show up when it mattered. They had the good read. So to me, this is really where experience, when it is the most important, really shows up, and Liquid definitely had it for them.
Yeah, and this is one of the things, right? It was a worrying start, but Liquid were able to come back into it, right? And this is what we're starting to see play out in front of us. This is where we started to go, oh no. Then Liquid claw back into it, and that's the experience, right? It's dealing with these situations they've been in time and time again, and not allowing NRG to get in their head. And I think that's the main thing, right? We speak about their track record against NRG. It's not looking good. We talk about this event, and the Liquid players themselves know they're under pressure. People are expecting them to win this. So if they've managed to at least take us to a third map, if they can try and close it out now we've got something to work with. And also, shout out to all the Malta fans out there, because every time Liquid are winning, they are loud. I'm impressed already.
No, but you talk about pressure, but the thing is, it comes with the territory, right? If you want to be a top 3, top 2, top 1 team in the world, then obviously you have to be able to deal with pressure. And what a part of pressure is, when you go to a tournament, people expect you to win. You're not allowed to drop a map. You're not allowed to drop rounds. So yes, Liquid have pressure. Maybe psychologically speaking, they are in a tough spot compared to NRG. But if you want to be there, you want to live up to that spot, then you need to win these games.
Yeah, well, look, it's always going to be easier for the underdogs in terms of when they lose a round. Hey, we're expected to, but it's still a close scoreline. For Liquid, a close scoreline is a disadvantage. It's a negative thing. And you speak about the top teams. You look at Astralis. You think they go to any event without a lot of pressure behind them? I mean, even if they win an event, if they lose to the likes of an AGO or something, there's going to be a massive deal made out of it if they just have a bad map. And that's the kind of situation it is. It comes with the territory. If you want to be a top team, people expect you to win. That's what a top team is, right? But I think here, there's no shame in losing to NRG. Well, we'd hope not. I mean, 6 out of 6 of the last maps have been given to NRG.
Certainly no shame. NRG are proving themselves time and time again.
And that's it. They've been climbing the North American ladder for a long time. They've been gradually improving over the last couple of months, and now it's really paying off for them. Not an entirely North American team, but, mostly. North American-based team, let's put it that way. But I think that NRG, certainly, we said it from the start, they're the kind of dark horse coming into the second place. It would be no shame for them at all, but it wouldn't be unexpected either, right? But I can definitely see them claiming first. They've had a very convincing win rate, but now, at least it's 6 out of 7 of the last maps they've played have gone to NRG, not 6 out of 6.
Well, let's look at the next map, Mirage, right? This is the true middle ground, right? We spoke about how NRG can play into Inferno, but this is what it comes down to. And look, it's exactly the same. Okay, different style of teams. We see the VP game that we saw earlier, 16-10. Okay, VP start to make a little bit of a comeback into it. They last played NRG and lost 16-14. It's not super bad. They beat Complexity. Very close game against Astralis. That's respectable. That FaZe game, I think, is the one from New York where they just got dominated, and that was FaZe going through some crazy changes, so we can kind of toss that one to the side. But on the NRG side of things, again, it's still against some top-tier opponents, but maybe not the same caliber of Liquid. But just look how close these are. This is a clear-cut deciding map of like I reckon we'll see like all the rounds. It's going to be a crazy one.
Well, this is something we saw, like that last game against Liquid, it was at ECS. It's a very fresh wound from them. But 16-14, it was an incredibly close map, and I think that sets the tone for exactly what we were saying when we finished off the last map, and indeed when we saw the veto come through, that Mirage, it's a risky third map because it's not favoring, and I mean, that's what you want out of a third map, right? You want to win your pick, they want to win their pick, and then you want an even scrappy ground, and no better map for it than Mirage. Especially with the way Liquid play it. I mean, they're centered a lot around mid control, and I think it was surprising to see NRG actually winning that match because their CT, they are a very aggressive CT side, but a lot of the aggression that they had was a little bit staggered. There was one play in particular I was talking about earlier where they pushed up middle, and it just felt like they didn't have flashbang support, and they tried to get it, but it was too late, and it was just really, there was no cohesion there. I think that they'll probably have fixed that. There was a couple of hiccups, that's all. Coming into this, I think Liquid will have a harder time because Liquid lost rounds you expected them to lose, where they just lost the opening picks, where Cirque was finding picks with the op. But I feel like a lot of the rounds that NRG lost were preventable, or they were hiccups that they've definitely will have looked over by now.
No, I agree. I think a few comments that we made about Inferno are still relevant to me when it comes to Mirage. You know, I don't really see any team that I would say has a very clear strategical advantage going on to Mirage, where I would say they definitely play this map more or better or have more experience on it. I think it's an even ground, and in that sense, I'm scared for NRG, you know, because then that's where the individuals are going to show up, when the individual decisions are going to matter, and also the fact that they lost the last map they played on Mirage. It's always easier to come back as the loser of the last game because you've had ground to work on.
Yeah,
you
watched experienced it, right?
Exactly, and this is, you know, this is what we call the confirmation bias in psychology, where you win 16-14, you might have the risk of thinking we did it good.
Yeah. Hey,
that's it.
This is ours.
Yeah,
this is our way
we
now.
don't need to go too deep into it because we won it. That's fine. Whereas Liquid, they lost it 14-16. Maybe they put a lot of work into it. Maybe they have adaptation that they have prepared for that game. So that's going to be a big test for NRG, and see if they are able to once again win on Mirage 2 times in a row.
It's that anecdote that Chad made earlier: when you win, you win. When you lose, you learn.
It's very true. It's very true.
It's poetic.
But there is one thing I want to touch on before we go to the break, right? We saw Taco pick up the AWP, do very well on Inferno.
Yes.
We saw him use it against VP, but not as too much effect on that B site. The thing is here that scares me is Cirque has a lot more room to work with on Mirage than what he does on Inferno.
Yeah.
And if he shows up, I don't believe we're going to see a Taco or even a Nitro be able to challenge that too much.
Well, I think we cannot really strictly compare Cirque to Taco because I see them as 2 completely different types of snipers. Cirque has an all-around impact that he's going to have wherever on the map he decides to go. Taco is more of a positional. He's going to pick it up on the B side, maybe short if he feels like it, but he's not going to be the one going in for the kills, whereas Cirque could do it. So in that sense, it's a little bit of a different fight. But I agree with you. If Cirque has a good game, Mirage is a map that famously can be taken over by AWPs because there's many possibilities for you to go aggressive on the A apps, middle, maybe Fallen at some point was going down in the underground, peeking the B apps. There's a lot of possibilities. So yes, if Cirque is having a good game, it could be the downfall of Liquid. But then again, you have to think lineup overall. I think all players in Liquid are proficient where they play. And that's where it's very scary for NRG, because everyone in Liquid is pretty good at their position. It's very complete all across the board. It isn't like there is a weak bomb site. You can say, yeah, we can probably pile on this one.
Yeah, you can't bully anyone on this
That's
situation.
the thing, right? Just overall, they're very structured and strong and solid in that sense. Solid, Liquid, see what I did here? Anyway. So, no, in that sense, I would still give a little bit of edge to Liquid going to that last map.
Now, I want to quickly, before we wrap this up, because we've got to get ready for the next game, we want to see the conclusions of this, right? Are you guys going to change where you're thinking on this, or are you sticking with what you're going? Do you believe NRG is going to close this out 2-1?
Well, that's what I said. I mean, I'm going to stick to it, and I don't want to be that guy who changes. No, I'm not going to be that guy. Just because I stick to it, but I think it's going to be really hard for them. But there's a chance. Let's say 55-45.
Ooh, okay. Mitch, you sticking with it?
I don't see why not. Like,
there's hesitation in the voice. I don't see why not. I might be regretting this.
Yeah, well, I mean, Liquid have, over the past month or two, we've seen everybody in that lineup step up. There's been a point where you could look at any of them and go, he was definitely the star player of that game. And everybody can do it. Same on NRG, though. Everybody's got that star performance. Cirque is a really impactful player, but you've still got anyone else. You can pick anyone in that lineup, and they could go ham on this game. I think that they've got a chance. They both have a chance. I agree. 50,
What a
55,
prediction.
45.
That's
He's
the
flip-flopping.
that's
This
the
is the
safest.
I'm flip-flop. I'm getting a little bit afraid. But
That's the safest
thanks.
prediction.
What are you going with for this?
I'm staying with Liquid. I stayed with Liquid from the start.
Stay with Liquid from the start. Well, look, then there's balance on the. Yeah, we'll go NRG. NRG are going to win.
There's balance. What? There's three of us. There's no balance.
No, well, I
It's
mean
just
between
can't
you
have me,
guys.
like, way more.
I
you
don't-
mean
I don't want-
the balance is tipping out. You two weigh the same amount as me. I see where this is going. All right, we're going to go to a break. We're going to close this one out. And when we come back, though, after the break, we will be bringing you the deciding map. It's Mirage. It's NRG versus Liquid, and you do not want to miss this. And make sure you drop a follow on the channel, because we might have a little special thing for you tomorrow.
Sie haben eine Big Box bestellt?
Frati, wer war das?
Das war irgend so ein hässlicher Typ, Mann. Riesengroß war der auch.
Hässlicher Typ? Ich mag keine hässlichen Typen.
Ich auch nicht, ey.
Was ist denn das?
Ich glaube, das ist so eine Big Box bei runtime.gg. Vielleicht sollten wir das Unboxing-Video machen.
Nee.
Lieber nicht, ne?
Banks have failed to move with the times, but we don't need them. Back in 11th century Italy, merchants from all over would exchange their different currencies for trade outdoors on benches, which is where we get the word bank from, banca. They started as a way of making our lives easier. Unfortunately, this all changed. As the bank profits grew bigger, customer experience was lost in a maze of paperwork and bureaucracy. They invented new and complicated ways of growing their margins, built on hidden fees and taking liberties with their customers' money. But there's a solution. Revolut Metal, a stainless steel card that does more than just look good. An authority to tear down borders, make our finances as mobile as we are. Free to spend in 130 currencies worldwide at the real interbank exchange rate. Think sending unlimited amounts of money abroad with no fees.
With free worldwide travel insurance. Think seamlessly buying and selling cryptocurrency in seconds and earning cash back instantly in the fiat or cryptocurrency of your choice. Access to 24/7 concierge from your phone to book what you want when you need it.
For a truly borderless lifestyle. And all this in your pocket.
Demand more from your bank. Revolut Metal. Radically better.
Place your bets at gg.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at gg.bet.
Welcome back to the Supernova Malta. We're in map number 3 of the best of 3 winners match between NRG and Team Liquid. The two Titan teams within North America are battling it out here to try and get themselves into the semi-finals. Currently, you know, it's 1-1. Both maps have been split. They've won their map picks. First map was in favor of NRG. Coming into the second, Liquid able to win out on Inferno.
Yeah, it really is time to get serious now. We're heading into the final map. This is where it's all on the line. Again, we said this could even be a precursor to a potential grand final of this very tournament. So the fact we're getting to see it now is already a treat, and who knows how this is going to go. I think this could be so close.
Yeah, I feel like coming into Mirage, you know, Twist has started to step up a little bit. I've kind of said it throughout the best of 3. I definitely feel like he could be on edge for Liquid here on Mirage. You know, obviously they've played on Mirage before in their previous best of 3, where NRG were actually able to beat them 2-0. So bit of a grudge match or a rematch, and we get to see the knife round unfold, Alex. We generally don't get to see this too often, but we're getting to see it here. Of course, both teams knife for the side that they get to start on. Mirage, I said it earlier, I still feel like it's a little bit more leaning towards the CT side. I feel like, especially with like Cirque, you're going to have so much space for him to work with that AWP.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a factor that could come into play here into Mirage. There's all sorts of things to look at. I mean, that previous result at ECS, it was only a 16-14 victory for NRG. So just one round going slightly differently could make all the difference here today as we head into the late hours of the night here in Malta. Coming up on 11 p.m. right now. I'm sure the players are a little bit tired, but they've got themselves going. They've got to keep themselves energized. You can see Taco maybe a little bit tired there, but I'm sure he will be ready once we get into the game, as will the entirety of the Liquid team.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this game all day, right? This is the game we wanted coming into this event. When we've seen these two teams in the exact same group, it just pitched such a nice storyline. And coming into this, you know, Liquid just having lost to NRG previous, they've got something to show. And we're into the pistol of the final map here. Team Liquid, they've got the smoke and the double flash. And initially, Nafly already finding the double kill. Fugly and Breezy, they try to get aggressive, try to get info and underpass, but end up losing both their skulls.
Daps towards short, looking for the cross. Cirque going to move forwards. He knows he has to make a play right now with the two-man disadvantage, but that goes even worse for him. Taco puts a bullet into his brain, and Ethan and Daps may even just save at this point. There's almost no chance for them in this round. They're starting to move away from this one, and a simple play for Liquid pays off towards the B side.
Daps finding the headshot onto Liege. Being pulled back, it's Ethan. All the work to do here for NRG. The bomb will tick away. Liquid will confirm victory thanks to Nitro. With a headshot onto Ethan. The pistol is picked up for Liquid. And it's important to which team gets that start. You know, we talked about it throughout this best of three so far. Both teams have had really solid starts. You know, on Overpass, Liquid were able to get a solid start, and then they kind of lost it. On Inferno, NRG were able to get a solid start, and they lost it. So it's kind of funny between the two teams trying to just keep switching, swapping. Currently, Liquid winning the pistol, they're giving themselves the best opportunity moving forward to get that solid start.
Yeah, we've got NRG forcing up into round two, as they have done throughout the entirety of this series. It seems as though they always like this second round force buy, and it does make some sense, especially if you want Cirque to get that orb with the full nades. If you want to get that full buy early on, even if you lose this round, you can likely get a much better buy into the future, as Daps takes a bullet from behind, I believe. Not exactly sure how that happened. It's only his teammate behind him. As for Liquid, they've got themselves a fair few rifles, but one of those has been removed. Ethan gets the opening kill. Breezy dishing out the damage. Nitro down to 2 HP, and this is not the start Liquid needed.
No, man advantage there for NRG. Coming into this force buy definitely poses a massive threat, and we see that already after finding the opening kill. They'd love to get a little bit more here, NRG. Liquid still have the rifles in play. Their MAC-10 is there, so it's definitely not lost here. 2 HP on Nitro is a bit of a problem, though that will cause them to be quite susceptible to dropping early to these weaker weapons. 45 seconds left. Liquid just look to take a little bit of space, a little bit of control towards B. Taco going to be that entry force. Daps is here. Could have connected one bullet. Twist able to hit one with the Galil. Fugly able to reply with a scout. Nitro continuing the fight with the MAC-10. Still only 2 HP. That Deagle missing the shot. NRG, it's into a 3 versus 2 as Taco connects the headshot onto Breezy. This retake needs to come in. They've got no kit. They've got to smoke alive, Alex. So, I mean, at this point, do you want to just set up for exits, or do you actually want to run in here and see what you can get done?
Well, they're going to move forward. Cirque is already committed, so he kind of has to move into position. Ethan trying to assist, but Cirque falls, and Elige seems to have done enough for his team, even with them being low on health across the board. You can see the HP on Liquid struggling as Ethan gets a frag, but the round is over and done with. You can see the bomb timer in the top right almost fully gone, and so NRG will not be able to win the round. They do a little bit of damage. The 2 AKs should be carried over for Liquid. They get as far away from the bomb as possible, and the second round will go the way of Liquid, even if they took some casualties. And oh, Ethan even gets to save a scout at the end. That's nice for them, because he can now drop that over to a teammate and keep the deagle.
Yeah, this is looking like a nice start for Liquid. NRG, though, that was, you know, a little bit of damage. Ethan being able to pick up 2 kills. Although Liquid coming into this, again, Elige going with the SG in play on the T side. MAC-10 in the hands of Twist, that's going to be the cash grinder, the one that gets the large amount of money. Cirque initially looking to try and take the peek towards the middle of the scout. Will fall back towards the P250. But But at this point, Liquid just look to try and take as much control as possible, just get as much info, and just spread out in case, you know, there is a stack from NRG somewhere. You need to get the info so you don't walk into it.
Liquid should be aware of the fact that NRG will be on a lower buy here, knowing what has come throughout this series, with NRG forcing in the second round and then having to save for the third. Elige dishing out the damage. Cirque slithers away on a single point of health. A little bit lucky to be alive in this one. Liquid continuing to take their time. They probably know they can press the advantage towards mid if they want to, but they've already got the mid control, or at least they have Nitro in a pretty aggressive position there. And interestingly, NRG decide to take a mid-round stack towards A, and unfortunately for them, it's not quite the right call on this occasion. Liquid are going to find themselves a free B bomb site, and that might put an end to this round.
You know, flash buying, Molotov's utility, all the things that Liquid have, that NRG just do not. So, easy cleanup, taking the B bomb site. NRG left with all 5 players, all across the opposite end of the map. That's a great shot from Ethan. He's causing some havoc with his deagle in the past 2 rounds, so really need to be careful and give that the respect that it requires, because he's actually causing damage. And Liquid, you know, with the new economy changes, are not allowed to build up their economy exponentially. Fugly catching out Nitro, that causes more problems. And in fact, Liquid, they're going to have rebuy on 2 players.
Ooh. Twist comes in from the side with the Mac 10. Nice little bit of extra money for him. Dabs is just running away with his USP. He doesn't really want to fight Twist. There's no need to take a Mac 10. There's no need to give any extra money over to the Liquid side of things. As Naf makes sure he wins that fight, the AK will be secure. And this is the 3-0 start that Liquid probably would have expected after winning the pistol round and the second round force buy. But that does mean into this gun round, we can see the full buy from NRG. There's that AWP into the hands of Cirque that we were talking about. Although unfortunately for Cirque, he's got a pretty bad spawn. He's right at the back of the pack for NRG, so not really too likely to see Cirque go for any early aggression with the AWP. Does Nitro have a gun? Nitro?
Oh no, that is not great at all. He's going to take some damage on board as well, drop down to 42 HP. I think he'll realize that he has forgotten his weapon, and he'll probably run back and try and get up again. Here we go, got the AK. It would have been very awkward if he had committed inside the middle with no weapon. Although Liquid, this is still a bit of a bonus. I mean, they have the AKs across every player apart from Twist, so he is the only player that's bringing really a bonus weapon, you would say, into this one. NRG having the AWP on Cirque, like you said, going to be such a big, pivotal player for NRG, especially with all the space he gets here on Mirage.
Look at how much Liquid are putting into this mid control. Everyone in towards mid for the Liquid side of things. They've used quite a lot of utility to gain control of this area. Now they have to see if they can move towards a bomb site with this map control, because they have forced NRG to play pretty passively. NRG is stuck on the site, but that could still work for the CT side. The crossfires can definitely be on point, especially towards A, where they've got the 3 players ready and waiting. And Liquid's nades are dwindling. As they move towards a site, it's mainly going to be down to the AKs to get the openings. And here we go. They start to move in towards B.
Yeah, Daps holding the back lines with that AUG. He's going to spray through. Long range onto Elige. Is able to finish him off. And that's the advantage for NRG. The Molotov causing problems. Breezy able to find one. Ethan comes in. That delays the push from short. And Liquid are dispatched with his twist. In a 1 versus 5. Hits a headshot. But he's 3 HP. A 1 versus 4 with that low amount of HP. Not possible. And he will be finished off by Breezy. And that will be finally around on the board for NRG. They win the first gun round. That's the important thing, right? But here comes a bit of a problem for Liquid. You can't see it just now, but they don't all have all that much money.
Yeah, and that's due to the fact that some of those previous rounds were maybe a bit closer than they would have wanted. In that second round, Liquid only saved the 2 guns. Then in that third round, they still only saved 3. So a little bit of extra damage coming in from NRG, and it causes this exact situation where Liquid have themselves some players buying up, a bit of a half buy for the Liquid side of things. They have got themselves 3 smokes, so a full A execute can come into play with a reasonable amount of utility. And if Liquid get the bomb plant, they will already be fairly happy with that alone. However, NRG pretty well prepared for this. They've got 3 CTs ready to hold.
Yeah, Ethan going to make his way into the back lines. Gonna pick up the kill on Naf as he tries to run through the ramp roof, but Illusion Taco, 2 quick frags, so those deagles so lethal as the Tech 9 comes through as well. Nitro able to eliminate Ethan, who was playing in underneath the wood, and suddenly Daps and Breezy, they've got to come in 2 versus 4. AUG and an AK, yes, they have the weapons advantage, but Liquid have been granted access to their post plants. The bomb has been planted. This is going to be difficult for NRG, and someone's on the long flank. This is going to be so difficult. Leash is coming in for the long flank up towards the connector through middle. Daps has to move his way in, Breezy alongside him, but Liquid are not peeking. They're not giving them anything. They're not even giving them a second to try and have a chance here. NRG against the Pistols cannot do it. There's no time. Breezy caught out and Taco with the double kill. What a play from Liquid off the back of Pistols. They make that A bomb site crumble.
Yeah, I said that NRG were pretty well prepared towards A. They had 3 players on the A site trying to hold it off, but those 2 quick deagle kills make all the difference. Just the individual skill coming into play for Liquid. They land a couple of headshots. I think it was Taco alongside Twist to take the heads, and that was all they needed to get themselves onto the site itself. And there's the shot from Taco. It was actually a Liege to help him there, and Taco even closed it out with a triple kill. Really nice stuff there with the Desert Eagle, and an important round win for Liquid. The fact that they steal that one away makes a pretty big difference in the overall context of the game. It means that NRG's money may not quite be there. Again, they want to get Cirque that AWP, but with the economic issues, that might not be something that comes through as consistently.
Yeah, it's kind of talked about as well. That's a big factor for NRG, a win condition perhaps. And so not getting that weapon in the hands of your star player is definitely going to be a big problem. So Liquid, great job winning off the back of those pistols. Taco was actually the player there to have the big individual performance. He picked up the triple kill. And so things are definitely looking good for Liquid at the beginning of Mirage. Twist goes for the initial peek towards middle, tapping away, does damage, but they're running towards him. He needs to be careful. They know this, so they throw the grenades on in. That's going to drop Breezy pretty low, but NRG are having none of it. They want to continue this fight.
Liquid just moving in towards A, realizing there's a weak point in the defense. There's 3 players waiting there, but Naf manages to sidestep them all. Then goes to the heavens, and Naf gets the 1 shot he needed to take out Fugly. The bomb will be planted, and the full eco from NRG going about as well as you would expect. Not a single kill found for NRG in this one, and Liquid with a really nice start in this game. But NRG were saving quite a lot of cash for this full buy. That's why they full ecoed there, to make sure they've got the money now.
Yeah, they got that AWP in the hands of Cirque. We were just talking about that. They've got the AUG in the hands of Daps. You know, you do have the long-range weapons. You got the rifles in play as well. Ethan, Marizi, and Fugly equipping those over on Liquid. It's the AUG, the SG, and the 3A through rifles. So things definitely looking good for Liquid, but NRG, this is their time to shine. Breezy getting aggressive inside the middle. Cirque is going to pick off Taco. That's a great opening, and suddenly NRG have the advantage.
Man advantage for NRG, as you mentioned. Again, they are a team that generally does decently when they've got the man advantage. Pretty average in terms of their overall percentage. 73% of the time they win once they've got the man lead. And oftentimes it's Cirque giving them the man advantage. As, oh, what a team kill comes in. Ethan got both of those frags, but Cirque decides that Ethan can't do any more in this round. He's done too much already. Cirque sidelines him, but it's still a big lead for NRG. Even though there was a team kill, as long as they stay calm, they should have this round under control.
Yeah, Twist and the Liege, this is going to be near impossible, but if they find a couple of kills, they work together, they can definitely make it work. It's going to be extremely difficult. That smoke is going to deploy towards shorts. That covers the vision of that area. And Twist can actually begin to pressure up through the connector. Fugly sitting back from the default position, looking up towards the top of the stairs. Elige aware that there could be a player positioned inside a CT or a ticket box. Liquid just making sure they clear everything methodically, make sure that they get as close as possible before really selling that they are going towards this A-bomb site. That Molotov, that's going to force Fugly back into the corner, but doesn't make him fall away from the angle or walk into the crosshairs of Liquid. So it hasn't got much easier for them. And with 20 seconds left, they really need to make a play. Elige will hit the first headshot. That's on to Breezy. I know they need to make this work as they barrel themselves in towards B. Cirque says no, he's the gatekeeper, and he denies access as he picks up Twist and Elige with the AWP from CT.
That's why you save so heavily to get the AWP into the hands of Cirque. He really does make the difference in this round. I mean, sure, there was the one team kill, but it's good that he's landing shots, I guess, and he makes up for it, takes down the opponents as well. I guess you could call it a 4K if you count the team kill, but realistically, it's only a triple for Cirque on this occasion. And as we head into round number 8, he's going to have the AWP in his hands once again. He's generally been playing in towards the A site, but he seems more and more willing to fight in towards mid, and that may well be because NRG know it's somewhat unlikely Liquid will want this AWP on Mirage. They don't have that solid primary AWPer, so it gives Cirque a bit more freedom.
Yeah, especially on the T side, you probably won't really see it come through at all. Liquid, they're just going to keep out the 5 rifles. I guess that's kind of the idea behind the SG or whatever, because you kind of feel like that's the long-range weapon you can use. Utility is going to come in. Breezy is going to find a Liege. Man advantage picked up for the CT side. NRG looking to try and extend upon that if possible, but Fugly taking a lot of damage on board. Might just have to sit back and allow Ethan to do the work. He gets enough done. Naf able to reply and keep it within a 1-man deficit, which makes it that bit easier.
Cirque's still holding back here with the AWP, and with the lack of nades on the Liquid side, how do they bypass this AWP? Continuing to hold the angle. Taco looking at his teammates' monitor right now, which is a bit of a risk, but he's looking and calling to his teammates exactly what to do, because Naf is stuck out in the open. They've got to get that bomb back, and maybe they're calling for Twist to do something towards mid, because the A players look unlikely to be able to do too much, considering Sturk is still in CT with the AWP.
It's a great headshot from Twist, though. That's going to pull it right back. Breezy falling. That's a huge player to lose, and that actually fakes away a 1 rotator. Cirque is going to come back towards CT. Not an easy player to deal with, but Taco and Naf, they could be able to do it. 2 players posted up inside of CT. Cirque looked like he was going to fall off, but decides to come back with a lack of info. With 10 seconds left, they have to commit into A here. Cirque is going to hit that bomb plant. Taco able to pick up the first headshot onto Daps. So great start for Liquid. They just need to hold on to the bomb plant now, and that is easier said than done.
Twist is still in towards mid, a very strong position, and Naf makes it another headshot. Cirque is already fading away, knowing he has to save the AWP, and Liquid were left in a kind of awkward position there, right? They were kind of stuck in no man's land towards the A side of things, but they still make it work. They take their time, they make sure the communication is 100% there, and I think just the fact that Twist kind of sells a bit of a fake towards B, he gives NRG something to think about by drawing the presence over. That's certainly something that helped, and I think that was the idea for Liquid, right? Make sure that Twist can do something, because the Liquid players in towards the A site itself weren't really able to do too much with Cirque trained in on their position with that AWP. And speaking of that AWP, he's saved it into this round, but the rest of the team won't have much.
Yeah, looking at the odds here, definitely favoring Liquid currently, but I feel like we can't really lean on that too much, because we've seen in Inferno, the odds began to favor Liquid, and then suddenly it fluctuated massively. And so between this, as the free play at the team kill again, I mean, that's acceptable. The rule of thumb generally is, you know, if you can take a kill and your teammate's in front of you, you take the shot, right?
Yeah, generally you've got to be confident enough to make that decision. It's a shame that Ethan gets the kill beforehand, but Cirque, again, still made up for it, so it's all good on the NRG side for that round. Maybe not good for this one, though. Yeah. As we mentioned, Cirque, the only man with any sort of rifle, any sort of primary weapon even. He's got the AWP in play. Liquid starting to run away with things just a little bit at the early portions of this game. Again, you look at the individual fragging, no one really standing out for Liquid, but that's almost a good sign for them, because in that first map, we saw Twist performing well, but the rest of the team struggling to step up alongside him. This time around, everyone on Liquid is doing their bit, and that team effort is what we need to see as Cirque tries to do what he can towards mid.
There's a little bit of a gap in that. You might have seen a foot or two, but not enough info to realize that mid is actually empty. They're going to be making the fake plunge and actually commit in towards the A bomb site with as many people as possible. Although NRG have got Daps inside of the ramp, so you can maybe pick up a kill here. Oh, Naf not going to check that corner. Generally, when you come into the ramp, that is the corner you preemptively check, and it will be traded back pretty quickly with the Liege coming in with the AK kill. Fugly at long range with the USP. Definitely not favored in this scenario. Liquid just taking the headshots. Twist will clear every corner, nook and cranny. And Ethan just trying to tap, get lucky perhaps through a smoke, but Elise still finding frags. Cirque with the AWP, the sole weapon here, and he's going to be finished off. Clean kills going through from Liquid. They've only lost the 1 player, and that's as easy as it can get for them.
Yeah, that CT smoke there actually kind of helped Liquid because they could peer over it. They could try and make sure the AWP is going to be dealt with. It almost seemed like everyone was peeking CT to try and just deal with that AWP, and they seem to overwhelm Cirque there. So it works out for Liquid. And again, this is a grim situation for NRG to be in. Having to save so heavily really is not good for the CT side. It can be so brutal being on that CT side of things and just continually being pummeled on the money game. And oh no, NRG have stacked mid, but Liquid have completely circumnavigated them. They're moving in towards B, and I don't think NRG can get here in time.
They're going to clear everything. Again, this should be a rather easy one on paper for Liquid to pick up. You know, there's not much resistance in terms of weapons for NRG. So the bomb will be planted for Taco. Cirque up towards short, tries to rattle off a shot with the USP. Naf able to double up as Ethan and Barizi both fall. Well, Naf needs to be careful. There's two more players coming from the exact same angle. He's got to peek this time. Death will come to him. The CZ doing work as Dapt is able to collect 2 kills. So gets an AK, 2 of them in fact, so they can slither away and they'll be happy with their upgrade. But Elish, he's not happy with it. He's going to try and take those AKs back. As don't really see a chance where Fugly gets it into the next, as they're all over the place here, Liquid. It's 8-2, already confirming themselves a bit of a lead going into that second half. Obviously in a really nice position that they could get way more than that.
So again, NRG trying to be confident in these full gun rounds, saving quite heavily to make sure they get these full gun rounds together. But you get to a point where you start to fall a little bit too far behind. And again, the harsh economic reset means this isn't even really a full gun round. I mean, you get the guns, obviously, but some nades are missing, only the one kit in play, and Liquid are going to move instantly towards mid, at least Nitro is. Just getting into an advanced position, making sure that NRG don't fully take over this area of the map, but the rest of Liquid over towards B-Apps. It's a quick push.
Elige will hit the headshot, Daps will fall. Man advantage there for Liquid as they keep on charging through. Breezy able to step up, that's a double kill. And he could get himself a little bit more here as they run in. The bomb is dropped, finally eliminated by Twist. But he may have just done enough by himself to save NRG, but Twist, he's causing problems. Twist is the thorn in NRG's side at this point. He could get himself a little more here. The bomb is dropped, so he'll have to try and reclaim that. But his teammate Nitro, he's going to begin to come in from behind. This is incredible. The flank works. He takes the head of Cirque, and it's all on Fugly, stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I don't know what I would like to get hit into more. You know, Twist is there. You got Nitro on the opposite end of it. Fugly just desperately looking to turn this into a series of 1 versus 1s, but Twist has the angle and collects the kill. It's 9-2 for Liquid, and NRG are not looking comfortable here on Mirage at all.
The timing on Cirque there was so unfortunate. He looks away at just the wrong moment. He was aware of the flank, but Nitro comes in, finds a free frag in a 2-on-2, and that basically wins them the round. That one play at the end there makes all the difference. And again, NRG struggling to find anything. They take these full gun rounds close, but at this point, close is not good enough. They need some round wins on the board. Let's see if they can do anything with the pistols in this one. Doesn't seem likely because Taco has made mincemeat of the first 2 players. And this round again going rather one-sided.
Yeah, as expected, again, this should be a pretty easy cleanup for Liquid. Quite well, actually, winning these rounds against the pistols, but Ethan's consistently been putting in the numbers with the Deagles. He'll get himself one more before dying to Elige. It's double figures for Liquid. This is the buy coming in from NRG. The loss bonus beginning to build. So they'll get the AWP in the hands of Cirque, utility on every player along with the rifles. I'm assuming this it's obviously got to be a tactical pause because nothing has been working at all for NRG.
Yeah, we just saw there that Daps decided to buy a second AWP before we switched over to watching what the NRG guys are talking about. So it is going to be the 2 AWPs in play for NRG. And I always say that on Mirage, that's absolutely something you can do, especially over towards the B apartments. You know, sometimes players that aren't AWPers can pretty comfortably hold over towards the B site, knowing that it's just one long-range angle that they generally have to deal with. Again, we're seeing Liquid take mid control without too much of a contest from NRG. Maybe it's time to start fighting for that mid presence. Try to see if you can win those opening fights. We've seen Cirque on occasion go towards mid, but it's not been a consistent feature of NRG's CT side. So it could be time to try and mix that into their playbook. As again, Liquid with a pretty convincing lead at this point of the game. NRG are going to need to up their game to get back in with a chance.
Could be the time to do it. You know, generally when nothing is working, you pull out the double up setup. It can be sometimes a way to get yourself one of the rounds, and then suddenly you're back in it. So definitely possible NRG could post 5 here, and that would be still a very satisfactory half for them. The current situation. So an execute coming in towards the B bomb site, the double smoke towards short, and actually playing this pretty passively are NRG. There's a bit of a gap in that, but look at this play. Nitro and Elise just pushing right through the short smoke. That counters out Breezy and Daps. Ethan tries to get something done, but Liquid are outplaying NRG massively here. All on Fugly. He's got to save. There's no money for NRG, and that is absolutely devastating. What a play from Liquid.
Liquid just draw all the attention to the B apps with the multitude of nades being used, and they realize that they can likely push into B short for free, and that's exactly what happens for them. Again, it is the two players combining to open up short. Nitro and Elige make that work, and again, NRG struggling to find anything at this point of the game. It's really hard to see at this point. I was hoping for a competitive final map. I was expecting it almost because of how we've seen this map go previously between these two teams, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be that competitive unless NRG can start to up their game soon.
Yeah, Fugly just desperately trying to get this into the next one. NRG needs this M4, and he does get it eventually. You know, NRG, they could go for the buy here. I think at this point, you know, half buy would be okay, because obviously you give yourself a chance here. You buy a couple of CZs, Kevlar on that 1 M4A4. You give yourself the best possible chance of winning this, while also having the money left over to get a nice buy into the next, including the utility.
When you consider the money on Liquid and the fact there's only 2 rounds left, if Naf wants an AK, he absolutely can just buy it.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't need to stick with the M4, but I guess he's decided to do so. We'll see if there's any reason behind that. Generally, players prefer the AK for the one-shot headshot ability, but here we go, Elige. Oh, gets caught on the flank. Maybe that's the start NRG needed. Cirque gets the opening, gets a little bit greedy, but the gun is safely in towards Connector, so it gives a second rifle over to the NRG side of things, and that might be what they needed.
So Breezy sits up towards the top of the wood. Taco looks to take the peek on, but Cirque is there with the SG. He'll take Taco, looks a little more, but Naf able to eliminate him. That's the M4A4 hitting the headshots, a double dink. And Daps runs in. CZ kill is enough. He could got himself a second, but Naf is at least keeping it within touching distance for Liquid, but this is still not good. This is still looking pretty solid for NRG.
Boost over gives NRG the early information in spite of the smoke. So start to realize that it's less likely to be an A-sided push. Will Fugly get here in time, though? He has to react. Oh, he's holding this angle. Nitro gets the headshot. That's an important frag to find, but Ethan drops the bomb. Nitro's got to come back to get this one on low health, and he just about gets the bomb, but doesn't get back safely. Breezy finds the one bullet in the back. And NRG staying alive. They're still on life support, but maybe they can pull this back. A 4-round half could be slightly possible, but it is Liquid with a big lead.
Yeah, I feel like there's a big difference between 11-4 and 12-3. I feel like when you get that pistol, if you get the pistol on 11 when you're down on 4 rounds, then it's a little easier to come back. Not as much with the new economy changes, but perhaps we'll see if they can get it done. The AWPR on Twist. This is definitely spawn based. He had a very nice spawn towards middle, so he goes out and searches this area. You know, we haven't seen Liquid pick up the op. We haven't seen them lean towards it on the T side, generally for that reason. And so last round of the half, you might as well just spend the extra dollars you got and see what you can get done. It's thrown on over to Taco.
Yeah, I mean, Liquid's T side obviously has been excellent anyway, so there was no need to switch up for this AWP, but maybe this is going to be something that NRG don't expect into the last round of the half. Even though Liquid obviously have money for it, just the fact they've never picked it up could be a bit unexpected. That's trying to fight. Ooh, blinded up there. He stuck around a little bit longer than I was expecting. If he goes for the repeat, Taco's here on the other side, but Taco is pushing up close right now. I was going to say Twish should probably lead the way, and Taco doesn't get the trade. Breezy with a double spray down gives his team the man advantage.
That was incredible. Breezy just sitting in the top of the ladder room, able to double up, and suddenly it's into a 3 versus 4, 50 seconds on the clock. Liquid definitely getting towards that B bomb site. They're going to carry the bomb over there. They've got 2 flashbangs, Alex. Even though they had plenty of money, all the utility is gone into the late seconds of this round. So let's see what they can get done as they move on through. Dap sitting on short, completely blinded. Great utility usage. Yes, they may not have enough or that much, but they still make it work. Nitro picking up the headshot. Breezy comes in with a kill at the AWP. Nitro and Naf have to win a 2 versus 3. Breezy has really been the man to look to here on NRG.
Nitro and Naf holding alongside each other. Breezy going to move in first. Oh, insta headshot from Breezy. And Naf has got it all to do here. 3 players to find. He knows there's at least one here. Oh my goodness, they don't check the corner. This is insane. Naf gets the spray, not the second. He nearly makes it happen, but Fugly turns back around in time. And NRG just about hold on for a 4th round.
That could have been nuts, but what a performance from Breezy into the last round of the half. You know, he was sitting inside of that ladder room. Taco and Twist moving up. The kills come through very easily. Breezy able to pick up the double. In the end, he gets the quad kill. So a big reason why they got that last one. And so 11-4, like we just said, obviously it's better than 12-3, but it's still not a great half from NRG. They'll still be pretty disappointed. So moving into the second, they need to get that solid start. They need to win the pistol, the follow-ups, and just get themselves a nice few rounds built up.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on every round for NRG at this point. They're going to want to make sure they can have a chance in this best of 3. Obviously, they don't want to go down and out without a fight here on the 3rd map, because now that we've got to this point, this is what NRG were hoping would take them over the line. 2 nades brought up by NRG, or rather 2 sets of nades, I should say, as the smokes are deployed in towards A. The flashes to follow, and Liquid have a couple of players here ready to hold.
Yeah, Twist and Elish finding 2 kills. That's a triple between the 2 players. Breezy walking in with 2 more. He's got himself 6 kills in the 2 rounds that we've just seen play out. So definitely starting to wake up here. Definitely being a factor for NRG. Nitro, Naf, and Taco still have the advantage for Liquid. Taco, oh, taps the head. That's the bomb dropped. It's all on Breezy. He has to ace to win this for his team. He comes back in from CT, spots Taco, clean tap, goes for the bomb, but Nitro has the angle from ramp. He's able to collect the pistol for Team Liquid, who continue this dominant performance on Mirage.
Liquid making sure they don't get ahead of themselves, though. They win the pistol. That puts them in pole position to take this game, but you can see they're not sort of over-exaggerating the fact that they've won the pistol. They're not getting overhyped. They're still fully focused on the game at hand because they realize just how important this upcoming round is. Considering NRG have forced fairly often in this 2nd round, we might see the same come through into round number 17. We'll have to wait and see. And wow, you can see just how much Liquid respect it. It's a tactical timeout from the Liquid side. So they are really making sure they don't make any silly mistakes. They don't want to let NRG have any chance.
Yeah, Liquid in the past, you know, have been known for the sort of choking from big leads, etc. So they might as well just take a nice time, like talk to Zeus, chill for a bit, get right in the mindset. Okay, we are about to take this map. Let's make sure we don't do any mistakes, get everybody playing exactly on the same game plan, on the same page. And as soon as we're on that, I feel like Liquid should have this pretty easily smooth sailing. Although NRG, surely they have something in the bag here on this D side. It's definitely going to be a difficult task for Liquid anyway.
So it's not the 2nd round force buy for NRG this time. I think they really want to get an early gun round in, considering the scoreline. So Breezy will try and bang off some heads. Doesn't seem too likely that's going to happen, though. Oh, here we go, a bit of a run boost. I see this fail way too often, but it looks like NRG have got their run boost practice on point, and Nitro, really smart play there, just gets the information, makes sure that they have the stack towards mid, and look at that, a beautiful crossfire. I really like how Nitro played that, just get the information.
Yeah, that was really nice. You know, it doesn't actually even extend his weapon barrel, just the shoulder peek right out inside the middle. It doesn't even want to go for a shot, just the info, so he can set up his teammates on short and connector to work in an efficient crossfire, so they can eliminate everyone on the NRG side quickly. And that's exactly what we need from Liquid. They sort of, every thought is going into this. They're not giving up silly mistakes or whatever, just playing very solidly and fundamentally sound. So great stuff from Liquid.
Nitro's just gone for a top mid smoke, I believe, and so Liquid might take the game to their opponents, but no, they're not going to push forwards with the top mid smoke. They're just going to use it to control NRG early on. This takes away a huge portion of the map as Elige is allowed to push forward. So that top mid smoke from the CT side, definitely something that's a nice start to the round for Liquid. I wonder if Elige will stick around though. No, he decides against it. He realizes that's a bit too much of a risk. So NRG pushed back at the early stages, but they can still go for the mid control later on into the round if they want to, and with 3 players stacked towards mid, it seems like they should get this mid control.
Yeah, that Molotov's going to go out towards the connector. That should confirm a little bit of control there at least. Obviously, the next point of contact is looking towards the short position. Re-smoking the window. Kill comes in, it's Naf to open things up for Liquid. Onto Fugly with the MP9. They've actually got so much palace control, so that's a lot of info picked up, right? And so NRG have just lost one of the prongs of their approach, and so they've just got to rely on Breezy, who is a player you can rely on heavily to come in from that palace position. Seems as though they are setting themselves up for a split, but Naf has stayed in Palace. He's held his position. Breezy coming into it. Does he expect Naf to be in this advanced position inside of the Palace? No, and Naf will take the headshot. Ethan able to find Elige, and the attack comes in. Ethan doubles up, looks for the triple. He might just do this. Ethan saves NRG here on A. It's all in the twist, 1 versus 3. And Cirque will finish him off. What a play.
Yeah, Super Ethan saves the day, or at least saves the round for NRG. Again, still a fairly long way to go, but that's what you want to do. Get that good start, put Liquid in a position where they have a decision to make. Do they want to buy up into this round? They've got the rounds to work with, so they don't have to fully invest. And Twists has brought down a fair bit, but the rest of the team will just be saving. So they look forwards to the future rather than the round at hand. Liquid could maybe still do something with this sort of a buy. We'll see if anything comes through for them. I don't expect Liquid to fight mid, but they're going to push underpass. Good timing. Daps caught off guard. That's already a nice start to the round. And what is the response from NRG? They've lost the opening. They've lost control towards B apps, and they're not sure exactly what they want to do.
Fugly. Vision from the Palace gets dinked up, and that's 2 HP. Oh, this is not looking too good for NRG. Although you still got to have faith in the AKs that they can still carry it over the line. They have got the superior weaponry. They spot Taco, so they pull it back into the 4 versus 4. Although 2 players being on 2 HP is a bit of a problem, because those pistols, they can definitely do damage. That's a kill coming in from Naf as he doubles up with a deagle. Cirque comes in, Fugly with a grenade kill, and it's Twist and Naf up against 2 HP Fugly and 29 HP Cirque. Twist will connect, he gets the double, and Liquid went off the back of a weak buy.
How does Twist get them both there? The MP9 comes through. That one push in towards underpass makes the difference for Liquid. NRG not sure how to respond. They don't react all that quickly. And Liquid realized if they stacked the A site, there was a chance that NRG would assume that it was a bit weaker towards A, but that was not the case. Liquid were very well prepared for that push, and it seems as though Liquid are going to get the job done. It is quite late here in Malta at this point, so a fast final map might be kind of favored for some of the fans, but I'm sure NRG would have been wanting to go ahead and make this one much closer, and maybe they will. Some fights already coming through. Trades rapid in this round. Breezy not going to get the kill, and it's all on Fugly.
Yeah, Fugly has to save NRG here, otherwise map series point for Liquid. Does damage. She's dropped to 12 HP here, Fugly, so 1 bullet would be enough. We've got grenades in play, Molotov, so doesn't matter. Nitro will hit him with the AWP from short. Fugly finished off, and it's map point and series point for Team Liquid, who've definitely made a statement here on Mirage.
Definitely. They want to reclaim their top, their spot at the top of NA. And that's what they're looking to do right here in this game against NRG. Again, if anything, they also want to win this tournament, right? Put that choking issue to bed where they've struggled in grand finals. That's something that we'll have to keep up on throughout the tournament. But if they do beat NRG here, maybe that's a bit of a mental edge in their favor. Finally beating this team that they've struggled against in the recent months. Looks like it might be Liquid taking it over the line. It almost should be at this point. NRG looking desperate with just pistols in what could be the last round of the series.
Grenade goes over the top. Cirque could have slipped through the smoke up towards short, so has an advanced position where he can watch the connector as his teammates come in from underpass. Liquid just sitting back passively waiting for these pistols to come at them. Ready to shut them down when needed, and Naf up towards short. The AUG is good at close range, good at mid-range, is good at every range, but Naf is missing the shots. The damage has been done. 4 HP on Daps, but it's still a 4 versus 4. And Orc has been picked up by Ethan. Damage coming in. Taco able to pick up a kill. Fugly watches the cross as Nitro has fallen, and it's into a 3 versus 2, an advantage for NRG.
Nitro not aware of that angle. Gifts Fugly a kill, gifts Fugly an AWP. And will Liquid even go for this one? Fugly's got the angle on lockdown in towards short. This should easily be a kill, assuming they don't expect this, but Twist pre-aims the position. Obviously knew Fugly was there, and this gives Liquid an opportunity to win the series.
Twist is nuts. And Daps is holding the cross as the players come in from short. It's Twist, close angle. Ethan able to connect with the AUG. It's all on Elige. He's got the first kill. 4 HP on Daps. 1 bullet is enough to end this for Liquid. As he runs through, he gets the frag. And Team Liquid are the victors of this map. They will move through to the semi-finals. And that is such a performance from them. That was a statement made on Mirage.
Yeah, I think it was always going to be Liquid closing this one out once we saw that scoreline, but a nice way to do it with the clutch coming through at the end there. Again, Elige upped his performance here on Mirage. Twist was up there as well. I mean, it was really a team effort for Liquid, right? When you win 16-5, generally everything's gone right. Everyone was playing well. You can see the handshakes at the end here. NRG looking a little bit dejected. I'm sure they would have really liked to get this win. But again, they've got other opportunities. They're not out of the tournament just yet. I'm sure tomorrow they'll come back with a positive mindset, hoping to bounce back.
Yeah, NRG is still one of the favorites, right, in the tournament. You know, Liquid coming into this one, a lot of people just look at them and count them as the favorite overall in this tournament. I think NRG are definitely one of the dark horses or up there with one of the favorites, right? Those two are the two teams you look at. And I feel like this was, like we said earlier, this could have been a grand final. And we just watched these two teams battle it out in the group stages to see who was going to claim the top spot. So NRG obviously started off with a shaky start today, come into this and perform excellently throughout the best of 3, made it really entertaining. That third map, you know, Liquid definitely showed up with everyone.
Oh, it's definitely NRG and Liquid, the two favorites to do well in this tournament. We even saw that in the interviews from the other teams throughout the day. They were always saying, you know, NRG and Liquid, the two teams we're scared of. Sometimes Big was thrown into the mix, but we saw Big struggle in their opening game today, so maybe Big won't be up there. Maybe it will just be these two teams again battling it out in the final, because, again, NRG, they may have struggled in that last map, but they look great on Overpass. That's always a strength of theirs, and against anyone else in the field, I'd still have to favor NRG for sure.
Yeah, I'm really like the sort of play NRG brought to the table. You know, you have Breezy and Cirque. They were stepping up. Very, very entertaining players to watch. I felt like they were a little bit going on vacant on Cirque in particular was a little bit vacant on Mirage. I felt like Breezy was still up there performing very well. But I felt like that was definitely a little bit of an underperformance from NRG over the board in the final map. But definitely enjoyed it. And I think Liquid will be very happy. Like you said, they do struggle sometimes with sort of the mental issues of the game. And I feel like winning against NRG, who have just been a thorn in their side for the past few months, is definitely going to be a good one.
Yeah, definitely. Again, NRG won't. I'm sure they'll be disappointed right now, but into the future, I'm sure there's still positive signs for this team. Again, it's a really young roster, right? Especially for some of their star players. So there's always the chance that they could improve on that front into the future. So definitely strong signs for NRG into the future, even if they struggled here. They've already shown some pretty good signs throughout other events, throughout other tournaments. I mean, sure, they haven't made it to the major yet, which is something they'll be hoping to do into the future. But I still think it's a positive showing for NRG. And even though Liquid got the win here today, NRG have definitely proved themselves in the past, and again, I expect them to prove themselves throughout the rest of the day, or the tournament rather, not the day. The day's over.
Yeah, well, definitely Liquid brought a whole new level to this game. I'm assuming, you know, we're gonna get ready to throw it over to the analysts, because this was definitely an interesting one, and I would love to see what they have to say about it. Oh, interview. We've got an interview actually, Alex.
Right, well, Liquid do it, they pull it off, they take down NRG, which means they are joining Hellraisers now to be the two teams who have a flawless run in the group stage, which ultimately earns them a spot in the playoffs. Joining me on stage is Zeus, the coach of Team Liquid, to talk about that series a little bit. Now Zeus, you've done it. You took down NRG, who are definitely one of the teams to beat at this tournament. How are you feeling?
We're happy for sure. It was a late, long day today. I'm sure NRG is very jet lagged, so are we, but After ECS, we had a disappointing run, and we wanted to come here in Malta and just show up and show that ECS that really wasn't us. And now, luckily, we did it today, and we get a day off to enjoy this beautiful country.
Right now, Overpass sort of slipped out of your hands. It didn't really go as you wanted, probably. So, what went wrong there? Could you talk about it a bit?
Yeah, we actually had a really solid start, and it was little details in the rounds. We had a pretty solid game plan going into it. It's one miss smoke, one miss flash, the timings of HE and communication, and these rounds can snowball really fast, and we just let it slip from our hands, and we came into the next map knowing that Inferno, it was our map to take, and Mirage as well.
Right, so on Inferno, something seemed to click for you guys, and you started coming back into the game. What was it that you changed up which allowed you to get back into the game?
We honestly just needed one round to start going, so at 7-2, we took a pause. I came up with an idea that we had seen last tournament someone do at ECS, and it was the first round that we needed. On the second round, luckily, we got, I think, a 3v5 with Elise and Russell, and then we just kind of had the map back in our control, had the economy, got morale going again, communication, and that was it.
Now, Zeus, like you mentioned, it has been a long day for you, so please feel free to rejoin your team and go relax a bit. However, for us, this show is not over just yet, as we're going over to the analyst desk to see what James and the boys make of this match.
Thank you very much, Drowlon. A very happy Zeus there, but a very tired one as well. It has been a long day for all of us here at Supernova CSGO here in Malta, but Team Liquid do get a day off tomorrow to enjoy themselves. And to break this one down one last time, Maniac and Mitch, and Mitch, you're hanging in there still. We've managed to survive it, mate. We've got to the end. But guess who else got to the end? And they beat their final boss, at least their mental final boss, heading the head-to-head side of things. NRG finally went down. Now, the key points for me was we were sat there watching it, right? And it was like, I think Liquid were up like 12-5 or something. And Cirque had 5 frags. Daps was on like 3. And that's when we started to look and think, okay, something's wrong here. Now, is that just because Inferno came so close, they gave so much, they thought they had it, and it just let it slip away? Do you think it was just a mental game?
I think there were 2 factors. The first one is, as you say, there's kind of like an emotional lift in the sense that you were really close to winning 2-0 the second map. I think that they could see it. They had the possibility to close it in 2 maps. It's always hard when you lose that opportunity. You have to reset and go to the third. That's the first one. The second problem and main issue for Cirque mainly was the money system. They got broken twice on the CT half. 3-0, 3-1, 4-1, and then 5-1, 5-2, 6-2. That's 2 occasions where you go back to absolutely 0 money. And when Cirque is most proficient with an op, he didn't really have it that much on the CT half. And Liquid, you could feel that Liquid was back in shape. And mentally, they were like a click, and they were firing on all cylinders, winning the clutches. They knew that they had map control because Cirque didn't have the op, so it was just, Liquid all over the place.
That's it. I mean, they were just fragging, right? We made a comment throughout it. It looked like they were in a DM at some points. Literally, that was just Liquid at the top of their game. They're a very difficult team to contend with, and we say this again and again. That's why they're in the top of NACS, indeed of CS in general right now. I think that it's certainly a more one-sided scoreline than we really expected. But again, it's just due to how well Liquid managed that economy. Cirque is one of the major factors. We were discussing it before the game on Mirage. He's given so much freedom, but unfortunately he wasn't given the freedom he needed in the economic sense.
No, not at all, right? That's where Liquid kind of micromanaged the situation for them, put the hurt on them, and we get this crazy convincing scoreline. Now it's up for NRG to grind out these games tomorrow and see if they can make it to that playoff spot. It's certainly not something they can go like, oh, look, this isn't possible for us, right? It's certainly more than capable for a team like them. It's just this loss is probably a heavy one for them considering how close they felt they come. But here we go, Liquid, they got over the final boss. They've got themselves to a nice spot. They get that day off tomorrow. They get to recover. They get to get over that jet lag. As Zeus said there, they get to enjoy Malta. And to be fair play to them because they did it in style. And regardless of what happened on Overpass, they impressed nonetheless.
I think it was an important victory for Liquid in the sense that, first of all, the ECS finals was one of their worst events in a long, long time, being out 7-8. Also, they had lost to NRG as well on LAN 2-0. So in that sense, like a double victory and a relief of some sort. Now they are guaranteed to make it to the playoff, and I feel like they're going to be in that zone, when they play their best. You can see, we talked about it. They are here to win. Obviously, that was one of the obstacles to get there. And beating NRG in the best of 3. Not an easy feat. They have lost to the ECS. So in that sense, relief for Liquid. They can focus on what's coming to the playoff. Very important for them. And you're right, for NRG, it's not the end of the event at all. Tomorrow they play the decider. They are top 10 teams in the world. They should beat whoever's going to face them. And if they do, it doesn't matter. It's all reset. They're back in the semifinal, and they can make it to the grand final. So I think for them, just reset, take what you can out of this loss. Obviously, watch the demo. You realize you made some mistakes, and that's it. You go on with the tournament.
Something to build on there as well. You said they lost in the best of 3 over at ECS. They lost the first map here as well. And to actually come back into it then, have a decent second map, and then have such a convincing third. I mean, sure, they were jet lagged. They were warming up throughout the day. You can give them that. The first games certainly looked weaker, and they gradually improved. But we talked a lot about Liquid's mentality coming into this, that perhaps it was going to start to beat them down a little bit, always losing out these finals and stuff. And now you see them coming in. They're actually able to keep things up and finish out the third map so convincingly, despite that potential negative attitude at the start.
Well, we're going to get ready to finish up the show. As we look down the scores from today's matches, we started off with a crazy Tyloo versus Big game, where Big were heavy favorites, but they couldn't get it done. Then we come on to the NRG story. Now, this is where the question marks started to come around NRG, right? Because we expect them to beat Kingwin a little bit more convincingly than that, but fair play to Kingwin. It was train, maybe a question to be made there on NRG's picks. Then we have Hellraisers going up against Gambit. Kind of as expected, given all the problems Gambit have. New players coming in, players can't get visas to come in, you have to have a player on loan. It's a very unfortunate scenario for these guys. Liquid then took down VP. It was on Mirage again, but I would say the Liquid we just saw looked a lot better on Mirage than the Liquid we saw against VP earlier.
Yeah, well, I think a team like Liquid also has the ability to step up their game when they need to.
Yes.
Right? All respect to Virtus.pro, playing against NRG is not the same kind of opponent at the moment. And when you're a top team, you need to be able to adapt. So it's fine. Dropping a few rounds to VP, even though it's 16-10, it felt like they were in control. Maybe they let go a few rounds, but they never was any doubt as to who would win that game. They did what they had to do, and they stepped up against NRG. But I just want to say, Inferno was close. So if I'm Liquid now, don't sleep on that. Don't think like you've done it. That could have been a 0-2. A few rounds here and there, a few clutches here and there. So they're not out of the woods quite yet, but they survived this, and now they can focus on the playoffs.
Then we come into the best of 3s. Hellraisers, dominant. They came through, won the first map. It was like, okay, look, they won their own map. Then we expected Tyloo. It's Mirage, right? Oh, yeah, Tyloo. We always see them do so well on it. And they just got manhandled. Hellraisers looking strong with Hobbit.
It's another surprising result, right? You talk about Inferno there being close, and then the Mirage, obviously a stomp for Liquid. Same situation there with the Hellraisers Tyloo game. We didn't expect to see, like, Tyloo don't play Dust 2, like we said, 4 times in 3 months. So coming to Mirage, you're thinking, well, if they manage to make Dust that close, considering a negative win rate in only 4 games, it's going to be great on Mirage. It's going to be a close game. Well, no, I mean, Hellraisers have got a completely different scenario in mind for us. And that's something I think a lot of teams have come into this and stepped up to a greater extent than we really expected them to coming in. I mean, there was kind of a clear-cut storyline in my mind. It did result in Liquid making it to where they are now. And I think more or less things have gone the way we kind of expected. But all these games have been a lot closer than we anticipated.
Now, you've seen it on your screens there. Liquid, they are through. Hellraisers, they are through. And honestly, we probably thought it was going to be Hellraisers going up against Big, right? It didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
Now Big's going to have to go head-to-head against Gambit, and that's going to be a good game. But I think, okay, given Gambit's situation, Big are going to be pretty happy with that. But the big one is Kingwin versus VP. My God, I'm excited. Because the thing for me is, it's not just the old school players going head-to-head, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of a power struggle battle. Okay, Ago aren't here, but like Kingwin, they won the Polish Championships, right, in ESL. Now this is their time to say, well, also, we're going to dominate you, VP. And you know how loud and proud Taz gets. It's game on tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to be a battle, right? If you're Taz, can you imagine your energy, what you have to put into the fight, play against your old teammate, they kind of removed you. And then I think what Taz has been accomplishing with Kingwin is quite well. It's quite nice. They haven't done anything crazy, but still, they are slowly grinding their way, playing better and better. And what a nice victory that would be for him to kick Virtus.pro out of the tournament. By his own hands.
I'm 100% right. As soon as I start hearing Taz scream, I'm going to go and get my little camera. I'm going to film him just to get it. Because I've got a video going back. This is going to show age. All the way back to the 1.6 days. It's 2011 or so. We're in Korea. And there's literally the rest of the old, they were Golden 5 at the time.
Yeah.
And he was screaming and shouting, and literally it was the Korean team of the old MVP, the Project KR team at the time, and they looked like, yep, don't want to handle this. They just looked at their screen, and Taz was just like wrecking face, and just I want to see that kind of Taz come back into form. But guys, this has been a crazy day. This has been a long day, but it has been a like the first ever Supernova event, the first professional CSGO event here in Malta. And if any of you guys are at home and you are from Malta, make sure you get down here and come experience some CSGO action, our first professional CSGO tournament in Malta. And this has been a great way to kick off day one.
It has. I'm looking forward to day 2.
And I think the thing is, from now on, we're not going to be able to predict stumps, right?
Yes.
We started today off going, this should be a kind of easy win. This should be a kind of... No. Every game's been close. Every team wants to come out on top.
We know he takes no risk. You're the guy who said both teams should win that game. So from that point, it's very safe. You know?
I'd like to say as well, just to add that to it, you both went for NRG and I went for Liquid. So, boom, I'm taking that one. Mr. On the fence here, Mr. Confident.
I get half points.
And I somehow get there. Eventually, I will pick one right. It's not a problem.
Look, I took a stance earlier on with Gambit, and I'm just afraid now to commit. I've been hurt too much in the past to make a commitment now.
Now it's safe.
So you can see, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I can see.
Mitch is a problem child. We're going to leave him with that. Mitch, you've had your final words. Maniac, any final words? Anything you want to say? Let's close this
Well, that was
out.
a good day 1. I'm looking forward to day 2. A lot of exciting games coming in. And yeah, we're going to see what happens.
That's it. We are going to see what happens, guys. That is us finished for day 1 here at the Supernova in Malta. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And I hope you will join us tomorrow from 10 a.m. CET. It's best of threes all day. It's the way we like Counter-Strike. And we will see you then.